Hush, my little ones. You must be exhausted. Come, sit and rest a while, and I will tell you a story of dungeons and douchebags. In a far-off land, a death curse has befallen everyone who has been raised from the dead. Its victims waste away day by day. All efforts to reverse the decay have failed, and none can be raised, for death claims them all. The souls of the dead are being stolen one by one and trapped inside a necromantic artifacts. Only its destruction would free the trapped spirits and allow the dead to be raised once more. All paths lead to Chult, a mysterious land of volcanoes, jungles, and the ruins of fallen kingdoms. Below them all awaits a deadly tomb. The trap is set, and these brave adventurers have taken the bait. Ileana, the half-elf paladin.
I'll do my best to fight alongside you.
Thalia, the wood elf druid.
I don't know if we can trust them.
Ava, the turtle monk.
Oh, good. You're an idiot.
Lucian, the high elf cleric.
Life is so short. What's the shame in having a little fun?
Mask, the Azamar rogue.
What secrets are you hiding?
And Ak, the Arakocra bard.
The flute. Really? Have you seen my beak?
Do you know where you are? Welcome to the jungle. You're going to die, for none have survived the Tomb of Annihilation. Last time on Dungeons and Douchebags, Tomb of Annihilation, our heroes went shopping. Buffering. You'd swear the stream was under a time distortion spell. And then, once that was mostly fixed, they went their separate ways. Thalia, Ileana, and Ak went to the bathhouses. Ava returned home to her girlfriend Mia to reassure her that she would save her life, while Lucian and Mask went to the Temple of Salvaros, where they met Grandfather Zatimbe, who agreed to perform a ritual to determine where the soulmonger lay. After reconvening to meet for dinner at the home of Wakanga Otomu, our heroes returned to Grandfather Zatimbe, who lay shivering on the floor, and told them of a jungle city far to the south, enclosed by cliffs and crawling with snakes, and a black obelisk draped in vines. What evil lies deep within the jungle? What other preparations will our heroes need before they venture out? Will they get to race dinosaurs this time around? Find out on Dungeons and Douchebags, Tomb of Annihilation.
Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode of Dungeons and Douchebags, Tomb of Annihilation. I am your Dungeon Master, Xander, and for the evening I am joined by 6 lovely victims, who I think should just go around and say who they are.
Hi. Hi.
The rule always, and has never changed, is use the order on Discord. That has been the rule since the beginning.
Sorry, I'm used to being at the bottom. I haven't seen. I forgot I changed A. Okay.
We know, Phil.
Hi.
We know.
Oh, you disgust me. Hello, everybody. Great start. There's Phil. I play Ak. Did someone else take over?
Hi, I'm Kristen. I play Ava. Please save my girlfriend.
Hi, I'm Cammy. I play Ileana, and please help me find my dad. I gotta find out who killed my dad.
Wait, your dad's dead?
No, I have no idea.
Well, now I have an idea.
I pulled a kill.
Well, now I have an idea.
Right.
But you're a bastard.
But you're... Let me just write a quick note that Ileana's dad is...
No! Don't do that to me!
D-E-D.
Man.
Dead.
Dead.
You're right. That's how I pronounce the name. Keep going.
Hi, my name is Phil. Okay, friends. I think we can go campaign.
You know what, Alex? Fuck
Good lord.
Oh man,
Good start.
good start.
Glad to see we're all getting
start.
along swimmingly.
Like,
Yes.
did that count? Do I
Yes,
go
he doesn't get
now?
a- Yeah, go. He doesn't get another chance. Go.
I feel like at this point we should all know like who's playing who, because like then you got to do a lot of
formality.
Hey, guess
okay,
what?
well,
I have the
This
usernames
is
and the characters in the intro.
I have a formal. It's a formality.
it's Uprising
Sounds
right
professional.
here. It's Thalia right here.
It's your boy. Okay.
Ah, shit, what up?
We are good at this, but
What's up, everybody? It's your boy.
Yes.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Outlaws, and I am also playing your boy Lucian.
Your
Ah.
boy.
Welcome to our Super Theory channel.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for the bits.
Whoa,
Thank you for the
thanks.
bits.
All of the bits.
Well, good. With all that said, God, you guys just don't respect tradition. With all that said, hello everybody. I am your Dungeon Master Xander, and today I bought a package of store-bought glazed donuts that were the most disgusting thing I've ever put in my mouth. That has like immediately ruined my day. So yes,
So
welcome.
hard.
Dude, no, seriously. Okay, like, so here's the deal. I gotta talk about this, because fuck, man.
What? No, we just started starting. Wait until after.
No, this is important. I'm at
No,
the
it's
bakery.
not.
I'm at,
You're like, all right, we got to freaking start the stream.
Go on. No, go on. Please tell me about the donuts. I'm sure that our viewers will love
Super-
it. Continue.
super
it's
quick
a
story.
good thing we overlooked the pre-show for this. Oh,
Yeah,
exactly.
apparently.
Shh, don't question my methods.
We question everything you do.
That's fine, but don't do this. I just went to I was buying lemon juice for tonight's stream just so I could put it in my tea because I was out. And I went to the bakery and I'm like, ooh, donuts. And I bought them. I got home, I'm like, ooh, yum. And I put one in my mouth. And it was one of those moments where, you bite down something and you're just like, oh no. And I kind of like I was just kind of left there to just kind of like look around my desk for something to grab and just slowly just kind of spit it out into. And I was like, nope. All right. Let me go chug some vodka to get that taste out of my mouth. So here we are. Anyway, welcome. I have no need to recap because we have an intro for that, apparently. There's an intro for everything. Who needs me to do anything anymore, I guess? So, yes.
Xander has
and
fallen.
Mask.
I am the new leader of the Decepticons.
Just
Lucian,
Alex.
Hello.
Lucian and Mask
Hello.
just left the Temple of Sabras from getting Grandfather Zatembe's report on the divination he did about the Soulmonger. So it's still pretty early in the morning. You guys have accomplished that task. If you all recall from last night, from last session rather, we had just decided that we're going to time skip to that moment. So now it's about maybe an hour or so before midday. So it's still pretty early out. You have the whole day to yourselves before tomorrow, which is when the dinosaur races are. So I'm going to break it down here and just kind of roughly get what everybody wants to do before you all just do freeform. Mask and Lucian, you guys just left the temple. What are your plans for the day? And you feel free to ask me about things you can or can't do, because I will happily answer.
Is this the only temple in the general area, or
No. So here on Temple Hill, which is there are the 4 hills of Port Nyanzaru. There's Temple Hill, Throne Hill, Yikawazi Hill, and Mount Tsubasa. Here on Throne Hill, Temple Hill rather. There is in the immediate vicinity at the bottom of the hill. There's the Temple of Gond, which is right next to the docks. Then across the bridge on that little island over there is the Temple of Soon.
all right?
I know.
So there are
I'm
3 temples immediately in the vicinity. Yeah.
So,
So.
what did you just say? I know where I'm going.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, Lucian, you're going to the
because
Temple of Soon?
How could you have possibly come to that conclusion? I'm interested.
Great.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. And Mask,
Uh,
what's your plan?
I believe in the buddy system. I'm his chaperone. I'm the wingman.
Sure,
I'm just
sure.
making sure Lucian doesn't fucking kill himself.
Are you?
Naturally. Well, good. Yeah, totally. You guys can begin making your way through the streets to go find yourself in the Temple of Soon. As for the rest of you, you all stayed the night at the Thundering Lizard. I believe that's where you guys had bought your rooms for the night, and you guys. I mean, rest was. I mean, it was all right. I mean, this is not like the most comfy place you've stayed in. It's pretty kind of run of the mill inn by most standards, and by this time, it's not quite at the height of its crowd. It's not quite noon yet, so not all like the thick midday drinking crowds have emerged yet. Oh, hello, Siren in New York City. Thank you for passing by my window. But it's still, pretty thrumming. By most tavern standards, this is like from like where you guys come from in the north. Like a tavern to be this busy in the morning is still kind of unexpected, but here it's apparently commonplace. So you each individually wake up with the day ahead of you. Your companions, Mask and Lucian, are already gone. I assume you guys each individually come down for breakfast. You get your foods. I presume you're getting food. Is that okay? Cool. Well, a meal. Well,
Probably ate breakfast with me at home. I probably came a little later.
Right. Totally.
I don't need to stay at this place. I got a house. It's a good house. It's great.
Right.
It's the best
Right.
house.
Yeah. No. You have a house. You live with your dying girlfriend. So I mean, like, you have a bed. For those of you who want to get food in the morning, and it's pretty standard. It's pretty standard breakfast and food. An assortment of meats and potatoes. There's actually a lot more local tropical fruit available. They have like mangoes and star fruits. Some of the stuff that you guys don't necessarily get to see up on the Sword Coast. But it's it's included all throughout the meals. For each of you who are getting breakfast, breakfast costs like 3 silver per person, really, for just the meal of a assortment of meats, vegetables, potatoes, and fruits. And any among you planning to do any day drinking?
No. Oh my gosh, why would I drink during the day? I already had a horrible experience with whatever the heck I ate last night. I really don't want to do that again.
The monkey fruit, yeah.
No, I'm just going to stick with water. I trust water.
Yeah.
Water's good.
5 o'clock was like 12 hours ago.
I'll pass.
Okay. So no one's. So you get a you. So for those of you who are getting food, make sure you just mark down the 3 silver. But yeah, so you get like water or various different types of fruit juice. They sell an assortment. They have they have orange juices and they have milk. They have water, obviously. But they also have this kind of actually more like tropical blend that's composed of oh god, what is it? It's like it has like guava juice, and orange juice, and some other kind of juice that you can't place, but it's like very sweet and just an immediate burst of flavor. It's really delicious, and you're surprised that there's something like this up north, really, because it seems it's like a pretty simple combination of fruits, but man, it's good. It is good.
Question.
Yes.
For the guy bartending or doing the stuff at the bar.
Yeah.
How long does it look like he's been working here, or how long has he been here?
Well, so it seems like the barkeep cycles out every few shifts, maybe every 7 hours or so.
Okay.
It seems like there's a guy tending the bar at night, and then there's kind of like these joint Chultan females who like manage the early morning into the afternoon crowd. It doesn't necessarily look like they're the owner of the establishment. You do see a gentleman who does occasionally like walk around in your time that you've been here. Who actually the guy you spoke to the first night here in Chilt at the bar was the owner, working alongside the bartender. But like in terms of the current bartender, the pair of Chilton females, I mean, by now one of them's obviously a few hours into her shift, while another one's just kind of starting, as she's like beginning to transition into it. They occasionally they're working together in tandem. Like one of them is specifically handling drinks right now, when another one is dishing out food between people. Coming. She's the one who comes to your table and like asks like, "Wait, what you guys want? Like, what she can get you to drink?" And then she goes off to the kitchen, assembles all the different platters full of food, and then delivers them, while just moving very quickly, taking no real time for like chatter or nonsense. But so yeah.
Oh, okay. They're not taking time for chatter or nonsense. Okay.
It doesn't like they're not like stopping.
That answered my question, I guess.
No, well, yeah, but they're not stopping to be like, "Oh, so how are you doing?" Like asking, like if you wanted to like ask one of them a question or strike a conversation, they seem receptive, but they're more so just trying to keep moving and not initiate anything themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to ask anything, you're more than welcome to.
And probably more than anything, she'd just probably stop one of them and just say, "I'm so sorry. I wanted to ask if you've seen anything like this before." Just pulls out her like little family crest thing.
And she squints her eyes at it and describe this to me, Cammy.
Well, this family crest, the Eridan crest, is actually a pair of fish that are swimming in a circle together, and it's sort of creating like a spiral.
Mm-hmm. Oh, neat. Cool. What are the colors?
It's just like it looks almost like it could be a silver coin, like if it wasn't for the fact that like the thing that she carries is actually more of like a ring.
Okay, yeah, totally. And she kind of squints her eyes, like she's like she was like halfway moving to the next table when you called her, and she like stops and just kind of turns, squints at it, and she says, "Sorry, never seen anything like that in my life. Sorry." And then she proceeds to the next table.
It's fine.
Kind of rushed.
Just waves off like, okay.
Yeah. Anything else anybody wants to do here in the tavern? Or
I'm doing the morning rush, huh? Smart.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Like you're all kind of seated around at a table together. Feel free to discuss, or if you just want.
Ava actually has just shown up. She has also obtained a glass of Tej at this point.
Okay, great.
She during the day.
Of course.
During the day.
When I'm prepping for an idiotic expedition like this, yeah, I think it's time to get
saying that?
Because this is stupid.
If it's really not that good idea, do you really want to go?
I want to go more than anything. Can't you tell?
Here at the Thundering Lizard, Tej costs 4 copper for a mug.
Yay!
Yep. Yeah. So as kind of Ava, just like the door to the tavern opens as she just kind of like stumbles in, just gets a mug, sits down the table with just a loud boof, like thud.
Well, you're looking chipper.
Yeah, about as much as you do.
Thalia just looks pissed as normal. I feel great today.
Now, does she rock the full on just resting bitch face, or is like a very distinct like frown she always has?
Nah, she just has resting bitch face.
Okay, totally.
It's a curse.
I got that impression.
Yep.
It's not that Abu was although she did drink a lot last night.
Well, by stumbling in, rather, more so you're just kind of having to push your way through the crowd, like, get out of my way, I don't have time for you.
She's
like,
used to this shit.
To push through the throng of people to get to the place where you get to the place that you hate slightly less from the rest of the place.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. If you kid, if you want someone to talk to, you might be better off with a quieter crowd, actually.
Oh, what?
Yeah, there's another bar that I prefer. You guys chose the more obnoxious one.
Oh.
Name of the other bar DM that I definitely know.
Yes, that's Kaya's House of Repose. It is
Yep, that's
more. And for the rest of you, Sindra Sylvain had mentioned this place to you as like the kind of place you want to go if you want to get a good night's sleep. Whereas the Thundering Lizard is where you go if you want to have a raucous and good time. Kaya's House of Repose is the like more upscale, more expensive, generally classier joint of the main two establishments here in Port Nyanzaru. It definitely appeals to more of the more affluent clientele.
That might be actually not that bad of a place to visit before we go, maybe. Just kind of looks over at everybody like,
do you still have the crest visible, or did you put it away?
She put it away, but if Ava's like looking at her, she'd be like, what?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, something like that. People around here probably won't remember it, but House of Repose, I think they'd remember.
Oh.
Well, that is a good idea if you're looking for that.
It's the impression I get, anyway.
If we don't mind going, maybe. It doesn't need to be very long. It would just need to be like maybe sometime during.
If you want to go, we'll go.
It's not like we have anything else to do.
We have loads of other things to do. Let's not get off track. My girlfriend is dying, and everything is fine. Ava takes a very long sip of her drink and sets it down. But you know what? Fuck it. No, kiddo. It's to you. So we'll do it, okay?
And she kind of looks a little bit surprised that she just gives a small smile and nods like, oh, okay.
So let's see here. What else? Did Hips and Mask go wherever? Oh, Mask isn't a good enough nickname. If he was oh no, I gotta come up with a better nickname.
Oh man, are you going to call him by his actual name as a nickname? That's great.
Yeah, it won't work. Hips and hair, perfect.
There you go.
That's it.
There you go.
What
Hips and hair.
Dollface? It looks like porcelain. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Ava looks genuinely impressed.
No, kid, that's good. That's
really
good.
the first time you've seen Ava smile.
Like, she's instantly like, I'm so proud of you.
She's just like, Liana's just sitting there and she goes, is that a bad word? Like, oh no.
Little bit of text comes up like, Ava will remember this.
But yeah, did Hips and Hair go off to the Temple of Bullshit?
Yeah, Hips and Hair. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would have found that out by now.
Yeah.
I mean, I just walked in. I am getting updated on this situation.
Oh, true.
I'm asking the character.
You weren't there. Yeah, you weren't there. Sorry. Yeah.
They left to go to a temple, I think. They were checking to see what was it again? To see if they could the
Avarice, right?
Yes.
Temple of Savras. Yes.
Temple of Savras. Yes.
I'm checking with Ileana.
Yeah, Temple of Savras. All
right.
They were going to check a few temples, I think. I don't know when they'll be back though.
That's good. That's information that we need. All right, merry band of idiots. What plans you thinking for today?
It is then that you hear a voice calling out from about 2 tables down. You hear a voice, Ava, that immediately grinds your gears. You hear a voice say, "Did somebody mention idiots?" And you turn to see Farul and Gondolo, 2 tables down, currently like halfway through their breakfast. Gondolo, the little gnome, the little halfling rather, like looking kind of looking like he's just half awake. Like his face kind of like pudgy and like kind of curled into itself as his eyes like squinting, like rubbing a bit of sleep from them. But Farul seems to be like just as chipper as usually, hand rested up against the like elbow on the table, like head resting on his fist, like grinning your way. And how are you all today?
I didn't say your name 3 times, so you aren't supposed to appear yet. Fuck off.
Oh, how funny. Oh. But he seems to completely disregard you, Ava, and he says, "So, how are all you doing here? How's your experience here in Port Nyanzaru?"
Die.
Good. Oh my gosh!
I was just like, Thalia, like, just because, like, the slightest nod, like, yes. okay, I understand how this relationship is now, and I respect you.
Yeah, you watch as Ferul, like his face, like his like big kind of flamboyant, like dandy grin just suddenly kind of like retracts, and his face kind of like reels back a little bit. And
that was a little much.
Get people to go away.
he just without hesitation, he just immediately turns his head away and just goes back to drinking his juice.
Oh, no.
See, it worked.
I'm just gonna say that at this point, Ak just shuffles a teeny bit closer to I'm very tired. Liana, there we go. Got it right.
Yeah, there you go.
Eventually.
Eventually, it's fine.
And then just glares at Thalia. That's where I was getting the alien.
What?
Then just
It
glares
works,
at
and
Thalia.
it's the only way to get people that will bother us away.
But in front of the child?
What?
Death is.
Ileana, I'm gonna assume that's a yes. You know what death is?
Yeah. Yes. Why would I not know?
See, she's fine. You know what? We have to introduce her to the ways of the world sometime.
She's just gonna puff out her cheeks and just goes, "I'm not stupid."
No, you're not. You're very smart.
Exactly. She's not stupid, so stop babying her, Ak.
Fuck you.
And here I thought I was going to be the bad influence.
No.
It's gonna be a super battle. Holy shit.
I was like, okay, I don't have time for your parenting squabbles. All right.
Squabbles, because he's a bird.
Aha!
I've never heard that one before. So original.
Like, Ileana just kind of lets out a little puff, like she's gonna laugh, and then she like covers her mouth again, like.
Ak, you were pretty knowledgeable last night when we were talking with Okamu. I was wondering, there's a number of things I would like to do today. Okamu mentioned some things about he left all those undead out in the jungle, and it occurred to me that might be some things that may be worth knowing about, so I thought maybe it would be good of us to do some research.
Research is always good. Where would you like to start?
Question,
Well,
DM,
Ava.
where would I start?
Well, Ava, you know that essentially Port Nyanzaru is really kind of a hub of gossip and rumors. Like aside from actual factual information, there's a lot of people here. While books can serve you really well here, and there's a lot to learn, it's like a lot of information flows really well for this town. And you know that the people who like live and work in the jungle, like the hunters, guides, and explorers, they're fonts of information. So essentially, there's actually a specific mechanic for this in game, and I'm glad you brought this up. Is that if you two want to go off and start learning information, essentially, for each hour you spend talking to knowledgeable travelers, you'll make a check, and if your check succeeds, I will give you some chilt rumors.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's kind of fun.
yeah.
That's neat.
And you can each individually do this, or you can work together. And I'd give you advantage on the check since you're working together.
That is a thought, but if we're gonna... Man, I'm sitting here I don't want to say I wish Hare was here, but I kind of wish he was here.
Man, if only the guy who specializes in urban adventures and intrigue was here to help you with intrigue.
If only they would come back.
If
only they
I mean, you know where they went.
Yeah, they're at the
Yeah, but I'd have to go to the Temple of Bullshit, which I hate.
Yeah. So.
Another thing to consider, I think we should look into that guide today, but I think it would be best if we did it as a group, so the guide, we can all assess how this mess is going to go. Actually, no, we should talk to Jabal first, since Okamu said he'd put in a good word for us. But
right.
I like most. They both hang out in Repose, so that's where I would head. But we should talk to Jabal first, just in case. Abba has pulled out a list at this point and is going through what
Oh my
looks
goodness.
like it could be an itinerary.
Hey, thank you for the
You
bits.
did a lot of
Thank
thank
you
you
for
for the bits. You did a lot of research, didn't you?
I always do a lot of research. It's just what I do.
Oh, small sparkles from Ileana.
You know, I actually really like you.
Let's see here. So I think we should look into a guide. We should look into what we can find out. Well, I suppose also if things at Okamu's house are available to us, we could also look into more things there. I do have this book he gave me too. I'd like to take a look at that. Does anyone else have any other thoughts on things they'd like to look into?
I think we've hit all of them on the head.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, God, we should no, we should wait for.
Well, I mean, if we could go get them, that might be a good idea. We don't know exactly where they would be, though.
I mean, they're at the Temple of Bullshit, so.
They might be making their way back.
Okay, let's go do this. Let's go find our other idiots.
Great.
Let's
As
do it.
you get out and leave, stepping out onto the streets of Fort Night and Zaru from the Thundering Lizard Tavern, you hear the squawk of a parrot overhead as Ava, it shits on you.
What the heck?
Epic.
Poops right under your head.
Ah.
Oh,
You
Probably
take
a
1d20
laugh.
Yes.
poison damage?
Yes, yes, and yes, before
I die immediately.
that was a random encounter.
Oh my god.
Yes!
Outstanding.
Ava
Good.
just stands there for a second, then grimaces and tries to wipe it off, and she's like, well, I guess this is in line with everything else in my fucking life. Okay, let's go.
Actually,
Hold on,
still
wait.
says
I might.
that wasn't
Hold
my fault.
on a second. Let me just like a little rain cloud above her head.
Okay, yeah. As with a quick little just gesture of her hand, this little like billowing storm cloud just appears right over your head, Ava, and just gently begins to just kind of drip a little bit of water, helping a little bit wash it off, but it's not like a very strong effect other than that.
Ava,
Well, it's got a comedic effect.
I mean, it's got a comedic effect for sure, for sure.
Ava just stares up at it and then looks over at Thalia and is just like, thanks.
Now, was that supposed to help, or were you just being a bitch?
A little bit of both.
Come
So,
on, guys,
Okay,
can we
let's-
just get along?
and you guys take off
Anyway,
to the-
Temple of Bullshit.
to the Temple of Bullshit. Meanwhile, back at the
Well, bullshit.
as back to Mask, back at the Temple of Bullshit. Yeah, back to Mask and Lucian. You guys had made your way across the elevated causeway that extended from the mainland proper of Port Nyanzaru to this small isolated island upon which sits the very glamorous looking Temple of Soon. And like you can see that there's these little docks at the bottom, so this place is actually only accessible by the causeway or by boat. And as you guys were approaching, you guys thought that the roof of the temple was actually floating in midair, but as you got closer, you realized that that was simply an optical illusion due to the fact that mirrors line all of the outside walls of the temple, like kind of
That's
reflecting the
cool.
land. Yeah. So like from a distance, the ocean reflected off of them and made it look like it was just floating. But you can see it, like there's a number of people kind of milling about, all of them wearing very kind of, like climate appropriate clothes, but not like the rest of the Chiltons who have, pants rolled up to the knees and light silken shirts. These are people who are dressed very attractively, but little amounts of it, rather. Not necessarily scandalously, but you like more of that sense of like they are wearing elegant clothing that is meant to be worn short and not modestly at all. But yeah. And you guys approach, and as you guys enter the temple, I actually need both of you to make a straight charisma check.
All right.
Oh boy. Okay, fun. Oh, so Um, as you both enter, you can see that this temple is also a bathhouse as well. Like, it's not entirely a bathhouse, but there is a public baths aspect that's under the open air of the glass dome. And you can see that, like, the glass dome itself is not entirely just a solid structure. There are actually, like, it's open air, so birds kind of flit in and out, and like plants and streamers and silken tapestries, and there's glitter fucking everywhere, and very glitzy, very glamorous. And people are just kind of milling about the baths. And there are also stations where people are currently kind of like doing each other's hair. And there seems to be this kind of like dressing area where people are constantly trying on different outfits and like kind of getting opinions. And as you both enter, a group of very attractive, pretty, like all dolled up local like
How many
brothers and sisters of
adjectives can
sin.
you put in there?
A lot, because it's soon. It's she's literally the goddess of adjectives, I guess. And all like come swarming towards you. Mask, the ones that approach you, and they kind of have this very sad, sympathetic look towards you. And there's all kind of accompanied by this crowd of coddling devotees who all come up to you and they're like, "Oh, bless you. How are you? Please come in." Oh, yes. And they treat you like very kind of like they treat you with a bit of petty, it seems. For you, Lucian, those who approach you, they greet you very excitedly, like, "Oh, greetings and welcome to the Temple of Soon. Oh, that is a lovely shirt, but I don't think those colors necessarily match. We'd be more than happy to show you some outfits that I think you'd fit much better into."
Well, I'd be happy to get out of these clothes and into whatever you suggest.
Of course, this way. Essentially, for you, Lucian, essentially, as you're guided throughout the temple, they're pretty much just offering you friendly advice on how to improve your presentation. But Mask, your experience is almost entirely just these kind of, "Oh, aren't you sweet? Oh, how are you? Please, come in. Would you like to bathe? Oh, I'm sure you would. Please come." They treat you like almost like a child.
Oh.
Embarrassing.
All right. And I see this. I see all the condescension. I look for the feet. There we go. I clear my throat, and then I launch into an accent I heard from back in the cities.
Oh boy.
My God, girlfriend, what are you even doing? Don't you know who I am? I am like the most beautiful. You do not even.
I will say go ahead. I'll say go ahead and re-roll a charisma check.
All right.
You are giving me an aneurysm. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
and you watch as you start doing this. You watch as the pity and the sympathetic looks immediately washes away into these bright smiles. They say, "Oh, brother," and they like reach and like and they begin to just treat you like one of them.
That's more like it.
Now that's
welcome. Forgive us. We simply did not see your face, and we did not know who you were.
Yeah, it's like a totally new outfit I was trying on. Like, instead of a mask of like foundation and mascara and lipstick, I thought I'd just like, like put on some porcelain.
One of them.
Thanks for the bits.
Thank you. One of them just puts her hands on her face and she goes, "Oh my goodness, girls, boy, let's all go get some." Y'all like rush, the kind of dragging you in tow.
Yes, queen, slay.
Oh my god.
And thank you for more bits.
And essentially, they pull out like they're like not like necessarily your porcelain masks. They're more very garishly stylized masquerade masks. Not necessarily the kind like not necessarily kind of not of like Victorian or French design. These are very much more kind of have definitely more of that African flair to them. But very much glittered, painted, and shining all the same.
Question. Kind of like the war mask I got last time at the Grand Souk.
Yeah. Oh no, completely different. In kind of that rough kind of like tribal kind of culture, sure. However, the one that you bought, the one that was referred to as a Puteri Mask, is carved from wood. While these are kind of made from either like kind of like silver or porcelain, but like very kind of like dolled up porcelain. Or like some of them are actually made out of like stone, and some of them are made from wood. The Puteri Mask is like more roughly carved, tribal, and kind of stylized scary animal. Well, while these do have like kind of that cultural flair to them, you get the idea that it's a distinction between the cultural flair and something that's actually tribal.
Oh, okay, cool,
You know?
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
It looks like two totally different cultural interpretations of a thing. Yeah.
All right.
You know, like the kabuki masks, like with the tongue sticking out.
Yeah, kind of.
Like, yeah, it's not aesthetically like that, but the Puteri Mask carries that same sense of this is supposed to be intentionally spooky or scary, whereas these are intentionally beautiful and graceful. Yeah. So essentially, that's kind of the gist of your experience here at the Temple of Soon. Whereas they're dragging Lucien around, giving you tips, offering you makeup advice, they're treating you, Mask, like you're just one of them.
Excellent. All according to Keikaku.
So, anything else you guys want to do at the Temple of Soon?
Can they just stay there until we get there so we can see this wonderment?
But
please?
I will say that, the whole process of them pretty much, Lucien, I assume you take the full experience. You go for the baths, you go for the makeup, you go for the wardrobe. I'm
going to be roughing it in the jungle for who knows how long. Of course I am.
So yes, I will say that by the time you guys get to the Temple of Savras and ask where your friends are, they point you in the direction of the Temple of Soon. By the time you guys are coming through the arches, Mask, tell me, do you also participate in anything, or are you just staying in your mask, just kind of talking?
I am staying in my mask, and I am shooting the shit with boys and girls of the Temple of Soon, teaching them how to be social chameleons.
So let me tell you the site you guys walk in on. The four of you walk into the Temple of Soon, and in one corner of the temple, in this large public bath that is actually been filled with mud, you see cucumbered-eyed, like face mask wearing Lucien getting his nails currently done by a pair of local Soon brothers, while another one is currently talking to him about scarf options. And you look to the other side of the temple and you see tall, imposing, cloaked Mask just standing there imposing and all that, but twirling his hair. He's like, oh my god, like totally kind of like thing. That's the site you walk in at, and I need the four of you to make charisma checks.
Oh god.
I just
Crit fail. Crit fail. Oh, I'm not gonna crit fail. Maybe. It's a
cameras or something of the ilk been
wanting to
invented?
fail.
Whoa!
You're a paladin.
Yeah.
Fuck up a charisma.
Ilyana!
So Ava and Ilyana, same deal actually. They approach you as sisters of Soon. Same with you. Same with you. Same with you. They approach you as you get the idea that this is entirely based on attractiveness, and the fucking bird is apparently more attractive.
Okay.
But very much for you, Thalia, it's very much the same. Like, they look at you and they look at your kind of more like rugged, very much wilderness oriented thing, and they're like, "Oh, hello, welcome, come in. We'd love to see you. How are you doing? Are you doing okay? Can we get you anything? Water?
Are you trying to attack me? Stay back.
Of course not. Okay. Well, let us know if you need anything. Okay. You're welcome here anytime. Like, it's super condescending, but you get the idea that despite that, they mean well.
I'm just like on alert. Stay back. I'm warning you.
Oh my neck, sword again! Just like circling the place like, ah!
Hey, thank you for the bits.
So yeah, this is what you see.
And the other girl just sitting there going,
Abba looks visibly uncomfortable. Like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm just gonna take a cucumber. I take a cucumber off my eye, eat it, and look up. Oh, hi! Just wave.
What are you doing?
I am being pampered. Would you care to join me?
I have work to do.
I have an extra cucumber. Oh, fine.
Yeah, it's worth it. Lucian, do you stand and get up out of the mud bath?
Oh my god, please.
Yes.
I assume you're completely nude.
Do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Lucian gets up out of the mud, buck naked.
Oh god.
Okay, I walk over to him and I just like take my cape off and throw it on him, and I'm like, "You shouldn't do that in front of Ileana."
She's an adult. She can handle it, and she'll see everything sooner
Screaming,
or later.
she can't handle it.
At least take your
really
cloak.
appreciate it
It's
if you
getting
could-
all muddy.
I just would appreciate if you put
My
some clothes
cloak
on.
can handle a little mud.
I'm covered in mud. It's going to be fine. You can barely... Fine. If I am so offensive to you, then I will go cover up.
She like takes her hands off her eyes to like wave them off, like no. Then she covers her face again, like oh my gosh.
And the male brothers of Soon, very delicately by the hand guide you to the next pool over, which is full of clean, clear water. And they you descend into it, wash off all the mud, then come back out of it, and they hand you towels to dry with.
Just one towel around the waist, one in like that big like spa bun with all my hair up in it. I just don't
Just because
understand.
I know how that anatomy works doesn't mean I see it in my normal household. I cover her face like oh.
It's
Well,
a tick.
that's all
Lighten up.
While that's all happening, it's very much like
Dear diary, like Jolly writes in a journal, so like dear diary. Today I saw a dick covered in mud. It was bad.
Side tangent. Who here's listened to the Star Kid Trail to Oregon video? I know you have, Phil. We watched it together. But now I'm just thinking of and when you wake up with mud on your dick. That lyric.
Wait,
proceed.
what's Ak doing?
Ak is sauntering over to the exceedingly and out of characteristically flamboyant Mask, taking out his lute and attempting to play the most flamboyant kind of, that Spanish kind of.
Oh my god! Yeah, make a performance.
Yes.
Make a performance check.
Oh my
I'm still on
god.
advantage for some reason, and I can't turn it off. It's not got that option at the top of my.
Click on the gear and then advantage toggle. There should be an option for that.
Yeah. If you go on your character sheet, there's a gear advantage toggle is one of the options.
Yeah. Click on the
look
gear,
around the
roll
setting.
queries, and then go to advantage toggle.
Roll query.
So, you with a flaring strum of your lute, you play a very rich, romantic, seductive Spanish chord.
Oh, Mask! I didn't know you had this side of you. You should tell me this. You should show me this more often. Trying to make a huge scene out of it. Kind of thing.
I turned to him and was like, "You didn't ask, Kiri."
Wow.
I just physically recoiled.
Just, like,
Good.
She went from like covering her eyes to like pulling her fingers over a little bit, just like, yeah, this is really weird.
I would like to then use axe wings to make a huge gust of wind pointed directly at Mask to try and make his hair flow.
All right, I toss my head in slow motion to aid in the effect.
Oh my god, there's glitter everywhere. There's gonna be Bishonen sparkles.
I have an idea. Here, tell me what you think of this. Tell me if this is accurate.
Oh my god, this is so
Not just
seductive.
this all happened, it just looks just so irritated at this point. Like, what the fuck is even going on right
And
now?
as this is happening, as this is happening, as the music speeds up, I cast prestidigitation and make sparkles appear everywhere.
A shimmer of sparkles appear in the air as you strum your lute and emphasizing your performance.
Wait, I'm gonna use Druidcraft so that the sparkles go more towards Ack and Mask and not towards us.
Thank you for the bit, Electric.
Thank you for the
Little,
bits.
little soft bit of wind blows by.
Ava is now just putting her face into her claws. She can't handle this anymore. She's
Okay.
done.
Okay. Minor illusion. Rose petals everywhere.
Rose petals everywhere. And for added emphasis, like a small, like, even though it's the middle of the fucking day, like a moonbeam shines down on and one of the brothers and sisters gets a rose and places it in between your beak. As a number of people are gathered around you.
Oh my god.
At this
As
point,
you're playing Spanish guitar.
Yes, Queen, slay!
Oh my god, after all that.
using axe talons against the hardwood floor to make these little tapping noises as I go along.
Of course, naturally.
What is actually happening?
Let it happen, kid.
Clear, I
Let
said
it
you were
happen.
all a bunch of idiots. I
Oh,
was
come
really
on.
lowballing that.
I'm not going to lie, Mask. I've completely forgotten my motivation for doing this.
I believe it was to make a scene. And you have succeeded.
Is it working? Ah, good.
Well, all eyes are
You
on
haven't-
you!
You have indeed made a scene.
Well, since this is happening, I guess I'm gonna try to focus on God, I don't even know what to ask these ladies about our situation to try to get some information.
Oh, thank you for more bits that you bought because of this!
Whoa, thank you.
Yay!
The saving me a fun thanks you.
Good.
But yeah.
Wait, sorry, how much is one bit worth?
1
Like,
cent.
monetary?
Cent.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. We're beyond halfway.
Ooh, cool.
Nice.
So,
And I'm probably just gonna be like, I guess we're wondering if any of you lovely people would like to maybe help us.
What would you like to know? Of course we can help you. We have makeup, we have hairdressing. Oh, we even have these little cute little sponges that dissolve in the water. Oh, it's so cute.
No.
This place is useless.
Oh, this place is wonderful.
Oh, this
We were
place is
wondering if you
fabulous.
knew anything about what's been happening recently in Chult with the sickness that's been going around.
Oh, there's like this big like droop and like, oh, those poor innocent souls. Oh, we feel so bad for them. We offer them bathing whenever they come by, but oh, it's so sad that they're all so sick. I feel so bad. Don't you feel bad? Another boy chips in
Oh,
like,
500 bits! 500 bits! We have a
500
Leah!
that is
Thank you, Alan!
Yeah.
1
One
HP.
HP.
1 HP.
1 HP.
Hey, thank you.
Thank
So-
you so much for giving my girlfriend an extra hit point.
Another day, another dollar. So, you and like another one chips in saying like, "Oh, yes, we feel so bad for them. We wish we could do more, but oh, it's so sad." you get the idea. These guys are really kind of useless.
I was like,
Oh my
Alright,
god,
well-
500 more bits!
Oh my
Oh my
god!
goodness.
guys, oh my god!
Love it.
So,
Oh, let me just count.
so the plan.
Well,
Yes, we just
I
wanted
don't
to-
suppose, since we're here, I don't suppose you all know any, Ava's like, seems like she's like really trying to think of a word, then she just sort of grinds
Oh my
out
god!
some juicy.
More bits!
shit, we need
Shit.
45 more bits for another H point.
Nice.
You heard that? 45 more bits.
You all don't have
Yep.
to.
Grinds out, you wouldn't happen to know any juicy gossip, would you?
I mean, it's never nice for a lady to gossip, but
Wrong. Always gossip.
I will say that because these are the followers
Thank
of Soon,
you!
I will.
Thank you.
And son of a bitch, there we are.
Because these are the followers of Soon. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Because these are the followers of Soon, I will roll on the rumor table. But just this once, your other attempts at finding information will have to take the hour and the check. But because these are gossipy Soon followers, I will roll once for you. The 46. What does that give you?
Party sex.
Oh, sorry.
And she has this big grin on her face. She says, "So I'm not entirely sure how true this is, but I heard a little secret that the jungle is full of these nature spirits, these weird little elemental creatures with masks. They don't speak, and I've never known one to be harmful. Their magical powers should not be taken lightly."
Hey, more bits and some salt.
Bits and some salt.
Wow.
Let's not have the bits detract from the storytelling. So, that's what she imparts.
Well, that could be useful.
I was like, a mask, huh?
I perk up when I hear that.
Little cute
And
white
glances
masks.
over at Mask, and it's just like, sure you're not a nature spirit?
Is the whole thing between me and Mask still happening at this point?
I
Just
feel
out
like
of curiosity.
It's kind of abated a little bit. Like
There's still like some
kind of-
sparkles that are like slowly making their way to the ground, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time, ladies. We've had a great time. You good, Lucian? You got your hair did?
One more thing.
Sorry, kiddo.
If at all possible, have you maybe seen a crest similar to this one?
And she pulls out her family thing again.
Yeah. A few of them take a look at it and like look at one another and kind of like ponder for a moment. They say, we can't say that we have.
1,000 bits.
Son of a
bitch. That's $10.
3
Holy
HP.
crap.
3 HP.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Okay, nice. This was a great idea.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate it. So yeah, that's what they say. They don't seem to recognize it.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you anyway.
You got your pants?
Why are you so concerned with the state of my pants? But yes,
I don't want to see what's I'm not into that.
I am clothed. All is fine and well for your virgin eyes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I don't really think it's the virgin eyes she's concerned about. I think it's her lesbian eyes.
Oh.
Ava just immediately holds up a hand to high five Thalia.
I high five her.
Lesbian Eyes is the name of my ska band.
We do the lesbian eyes.
Anyway.
Alright, let's
a pair of lesbians.
we good to go? Because I'd like to have a discussion. I'd like to talk with you guys, preferably out of here, please.
Yeah, I'll kiss the hand of one of my attendants, and I'll meander over to you guys.
All right.
Disgusting.
See you later. Yeah. See you later, girlfriends. Keep some of those hot taps in mind.
Oh my god, come back anytime.
And thank you for the bits, more.
Thank you.
Thank you
guys,
so much.
You head out of the Temple of
sounds all
Soon,
empty.
back out into the open air.
I would like to back out of the room all Road to El Dorado, Miguel and Tulio style with his lute.
Yes.
Yep. Great.
That was fun.
I am. That was a good idea.
He looks over at Mask like, what was that? What was that?
Bloody time.
I turned to Ileana. That was acting.
Oh, yes, acting.
Don't listen to him.
That's
Don't
totally
listen
what
to
we
him,
were
kiddo.
doing.
That's just what he's like normally. That's
All
what
right.
he is deep down.
All right, and then I break out into a pitch perfect Alba impression. Yeah, don't listen to me, kiddo. I'm just a huge jackass. Don't listen to me.
I mean, you're not wrong. All right. So, moving on. Okay, I will humor the idea here. I don't suppose you two learned anything from the Temple of Bullshit?
Actually,
Can I roll to see if I picked up on any gossip in there?
I think she's talking about the other bullshit one.
Because you spent like an hour in there, yeah, actually. I think you were the one actively listening. I think Lucy and you were just concerned about being pampered, right?
yeah.
Congratulations, Alex, you won.
Yay!
There it is. Yeah, I will happily roll on the table for you. Let's see what you get. Let's see what gossip you heard in there. You rolled a 75. Oh, yippee skippy. That gets you. Oh boy, yeah. Like, so as you were like, kind of just like talking with them, they kind of like struck up. They were talking like, so how long have you been in Chult? Like stuff like that, and they were talking about how you got here and all that. And the topic of sailing was brought up, and like in like the nearby bay. And they're like, oh my god, I don't know if you know this, but there is a dragon turtle that lives in the Bay of Chult named Adamag. If you wish to
Okay, that's casual.
If you wish to set sail from, like, word of warning, if you wish to set sail from Port Nyanzaru, you'll need treasure to appease the greedy monster. How much treasure, I cannot say. Adamag will tell you what it wants, and you would best give it what it demands, I tell you that much.
Alright, thank you for the bits, Atlas.
Thank you.
That's the rumor you get.
Yes, I did hear a little something. I heard. So there's this dragon turtle named Adamag in the bay, and you like totally need to bribe him if you want to get through there and like not be a stride.
Oh my goodness.
Ava visibly flinches.
That voice is really terrifying. Can you please not do that again?
Would you prefer I did this voice all the time?
You know what? Yeah, I'm a little more accustomed to that one. Let's get off the subject of the turtle.
Wait, why?
And we have hit a 4th HP.
Oh,
Jesus, guys!
Holy crap.
Oh my
You guys are
god!
the greatest.
I'm happy. I'm pleased.
So powerful.
Yep.
Is Mia the final boss? Is that what this is?
Are we just making her stronger?
Mia just flexes on everyone.
It's
What
true.
up? Snap into a Slim Jim, I'm Mia!
Oh my god!
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Like
But
a
no,
solid
is
no.
Ava uncomfortable with the turtle? Thing? Dragon? Thing? I don't
Yes.
But why?
Wait, what?
Are you okay, Ava?
It's fine. It's nothing. I meant, okay, aside from that Temple of Bullshit, I meant the actual Temple of Bullshit. The
Oh, yes. There's
Savras.
there's a jungle city.
Seems like it really pains Ava to say that, to say the actual god name as opposed to bullshit. She's like, sorry, continue.
Yes, as I was trying to inform you before you went off on a little tangent about how much you hate everything, as usual, we discovered that there's a jungle city somewhere to the south, enclosed by cliffs, crawling with snakes, black obelisks draped in vines, the usual spooky shit. And evidently...
Very deep, very spooky.
And evidently the soulmonger is there.
Oh, well, that's as good a clue as any.
We have a direction, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Get more from that. I was talking with everyone in Thundering Lizard. I think we should that might be a good point. It might also be useless, but it's worth looking into. I wonder if we should do some research into that, and probably also do some combing for see if anyone in the city knows anything. Seem like you know what you're doing around the city, so maybe you'll have a better chance at this than I do. Person. I don't have enough. I'm like, hair. No, hair doesn't work. Oh, not a good nickname.
It's alright, take your time.
Out of curiosity, Ava, where are the dinosaurs that race? Where are they held?
Good question, DM.
They're held in Tariki Anchorage.
Which might be a good idea to see how Banana Candy's doing, since she's got a race tomorrow and all.
That might be a good
Dinosaurs
idea.
called
Another
Banana
1,000 bits!
That's amazing.
Holy
Oh my god.
shit! Thank you!
Oh my
Oh my god, thank you guys so fucking much!
You guys are the greatest.
Yeah!
This is amazing. This is amazing.
Guys, you're gonna make me cry!
Mia is going to become a god.
Become
You're
as
making-
gods.
You're making Kristen cry, but you're making my wallet very happy. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. That's awesome. I'm so happy.
Fuck.
So, you guys you said you're heading to Turkey Anchorage?
Evidently.
Well, there's a number of things I wanted to address. I don't know
Yeah,
if we
totally.
want to split up or if we want to head to Tariki Anchorage, because I think we should do some research, and Okamu said that we could check out his books whenever we wanted to. I think that probably be well served there, actually.
Yeah.
Because then we could look into this big spooky obelisk in the jungle. Ooh!
Whoa.
So you two are going to go do what?
Go to Wakanda Okamu's house and look into like his books and stuff.
Yeah, you want to go to Kondo? Yeah, sure.
And also, I also wanted to suggest, since I have you all here, as opposed to splitting us all up, I think today would be a good day for us to look into getting that guide, and I think we should all go as a group to make sure that, we actually know what we're doing. Also, I told the kid we'd go to Repose later, so we need to do that. So we've got a lot to do, and we spent a lot of time with the mud baths. So.
Yeah, it's about 1 bells past midday now.
I mean, if you want to meet up somewhere later, I wouldn't mind just going to the place on my own. Fine.
Are you sure?
No, kid, no.
You should probably have an escort.
Yeah, at least Mask should go with you.
I certainly wouldn't object.
Have just
I'll tag
Mask
along.
go.
It's alright, no.
I'll tag along. We're perfectly good chaperones, although I'm sure she doesn't need one.
I'm definitely going along too then.
My. Aren't you just a ray of sunshine?
But I thought you guys were going to go check out the dinosaur.
So just to
True.
recap, we scrapped looking into the dinosaur, but the 4 of us are going to the House of Repose while the turtle and the bird are going up to look at the books.
Well, I think looking into the dinosaur is a good idea.
Honestly, I'll be perfectly fine. It's not like I haven't been in social experiences like this before.
You are not going by yourself.
You may have been in social experiences, but you haven't really gone through the city streets as I have.
Out of curiosity, Mask, do you have any experience with poisons and things of that sort?
How dare you imply such a thing? As I double check to make sure if I'm. Yeah, I'm
Actually,
not.
question for the DM. Like, I should be able to handle this on my own, right?
I mean, in theory.
Like, can I try to convince them? Like, is there a role for me to just sit there and go,
If you make a good enough argument in character,
I absolutely refuse
Okay.
to allow players to do persuasion checks on one another.
okay, that's totally fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah,
I
you
was
make
curious.
a compelling argument by all
Okay.
means.
I'm the daughter from a noble family. I think I know how to deal with social interactions just fine.
But
And walking
that makes
around-
me even less inclined to let you go by yourself in a town like this.
And I've also been trained as a paladin. It's not like I can't fend for myself.
it's not that we're saying you can't fend for yourself. It's not like that.
Then how is it?
It's not that we don't trust you. Believe that you when you say you can handle yourself. It's just, this isn't the kind of city where you want to be by yourself. I would know. You want someone watching your back, no matter how capable you are. I thoroughly suggest you bring at least one person with you. Saying you're incapable, we're saying that this city is dangerous and we want you to be safe.
She kind of takes a heavy breath and just says,
Then I only need one person to go with me. We still need to get the other stuff done. We don't need everybody to go just because I'm going somewhere. Okay?
That sounds reasonable.
All right, then how about this proposition? I go with Ileana. Then the turtle and the bird go over to look at the books. That leaves Thalia and, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I forgot the name and character.
Lucian!
That leaves Thalia and Lucian to go look at the dinosaurs.
That makes sense. We'll do that, and then we'll meet back here in a couple of hours to go see if we can. Actually, would I know how to? Actually, I guess if we go to Okamu, we can figure out from there how we can go see Jabal and get the guide thing taken care of. So
Yeah!
we'll do that. Okay, so we'll meet back. How about we meet back at the House of Repose in a few hours?
Sounds good.
Sure. Okay.
Great.
Meet you
So
two there.
you all immediately head off your separate ways. Let's actually, because let's go ahead and take our break early so we can come back and then address all that stuff.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Take our break like 10 minutes early or so. Yeah,
We're gonna see you all in a few minutes.
Yay!
Bye-bye.
we'll be right back.
See
Bye.
y'all soon.
Welcome back, everybody. So of the groups that have departed on their various ways to go do their individual tasks, let's go ahead and just start out with the folks who are going to check out the dinosaurs at Tariki Anchorage.
Wow.
Which was who again? Lucian
and Thalia.
Good. So yeah, Lucian and Thalia, you guys make your way down through the, coming back from the Temple of Soon, going back through the various districts to make your way to one of the outer walls of Port Nyanzaru. And very much like Malor's Throat, this is a district that is held outside the walls of the city proper. Essentially, as you guys kind of go through the arches into the open avenues, this district is, you see a lot of, you get a kind of like a, these are more like river folk, there are people here who, you see animal trainers, fishermen all along the river's coast. This definitely has that more kind of, very much kind of like the harbor district vibe of Port Nyanzaru, but less, a little bit less expensive in aesthetic. This definitely strikes you more as, oh, this is a river village outside the city proper. And as you guys are walking around with no amount of difficulty whatsoever, at the other end of the district, there are large, huge tracts of land available at the base of the large cliffs and hills that ascend towards the jungles, that are large pens that are full of dinosaurs. Most of them being utilized as beasts of burden, rather. And the most common, you see a lot of ankylosauruses, which are those like low
Hold up.
squat
Interruption.
Yeah.
We got a Bitzuka, 1,500 bits.
Oh my god!
Holy shit!
Thank you.
1,500. How much? Oh,
That's $15.
That's $15.
You guys are insane.
Oh my god!
You're crazy.
So much. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you, Atlas.
You see ankylosauruses, which are those like low, kind of squat to the ground dinosaurs that are covered in like spikes and armor plating, and has a kind of like a long swishing tail, and Triceratops. But there is a pen where they keep a couple of the racing animals. This is actually where they do keep banana candy, but from what you kind of ask around, a lot of the other racing animals are held in private pens by their owners because they are mucho expensive. So, but it seems like but banana candy, among a couple of others, are held here.
So that's cool. Why did we come here again?
Well, I wanted to examine some of the competition. I don't want to be too loose with my gold, and I figured that, well, it would be a good idea to meet the animal you're going to race on before the day of the race.
I see.
But also, if you're so inclined, maybe we could find a way to put the odds in our favor.
What are you planning?
Well, I'm not too skilled in terms of handling animals, but I am able to produce some startling effects that could maybe affect things right out the gate, but perhaps adding things to an animal's feed would help it perform not as well, if you catch my drift.
I see.
If you're not opposed.
Oh, I'm not opposed.
Perfect.
As long as we don't get caught, that would be troublesome.
Yes. Well, we'll do our best. And
Okay.
I'll keep a lookout and I can throw up illusions if necessary.
All
Do you
right.
have what you need?
I unfortunately, I'm not really the animal type. I was wondering if you had any ideas, maybe.
I see.
I have spells that could help the day of the race, but nothing that could really do anything beforehand.
Well, here I thought you were prepared. I was wrong.
It was a bit of a spur of the moment thing.
So what's your plan?
I'm looking at my things right now.
Okay, totally. You guys are, correct me if I'm wrong, plotting to do what with your magic here? Like you're trying to make an illusion, or what's the idea?
My thing is if Dahlia has
Yeah.
something that can tamper with the dinosaurs, I will try and, keep a lookout / take care of or try and hide her.
Right. Okay,
with
sure.
Should it arise
Sure.
necessarily.
Naturally, okay. Yeah. What do you...
And if she
Go ahead.
doesn't find anything, then I maybe have an idea, but it would require tighter timing and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
And money.
I really don't have much. Yeah, I really don't have much. I don't have any items that could help, per se.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 cantrips that I was planning on using during the race. Which maybe could probably just be dealt with before tomorrow, so
That's fair.
What's your plan?
Well, remember that fruit that Ileana and I ate last night?
Oh dear.
Poison is a bit too much and a bit too dangerous, but fruit, I understand a lot of these animals are, they eat fruit and are herbivorous. So maybe perhaps adding in a little bit of yes. It couldn't hurt to try.
It couldn't hurt to try for sure.
Wouldn't you love to see a dinosaur dance on a table?
There wouldn't be any table, but I would be interested to see it try and dance.
Well, in that case, we might as well say hi to Banana Candy, and then I'll try and find some, what was it, monkey fruit? Yes.
Yeah, it's called a dancing monkey fruit.
Okay.
I heard that, maybe I was wrong, but I thought it was rare.
Well, I mean, our gracious host obviously had some. I'm sure some could be found in the market, and if not, well then maybe I could find something else that might help.
Maybe. Worst comes to worst, I'll just use poison spray on the dinosaurs during the race. Which I'll probably do anyway.
You are savage. I love it.
I mean, that was my plan from the start.
Alright, so as soon as I kind of look around to make sure that nobody's really around, I was thinking of dropping I have a cantrip conjures very, very bright light. I figured I could use that to blind at least one of them from the starting gates. Do any of the dinosaurs, other than Banana Candy, look particularly strong / healthy / fast?
Let me tell you. Let's see, where is my dinosaur racing docket, rather. I mean, of the ones that are kept here in Tariki Anchorage and are not, kept private, make an investigation check.
Can I help?
Sure. So one of you roll with advantage.
You roll with advantage. I have -2 investigation.
Oh, I'll just roll again then.
Okay. I mean, so of the let's see, let me look at the list here. I mean, there is asking around a bit and kind of like to keep an eye. There is a one of the other dinosaurs kept here in Tariki Anchorage is this young Triceratops named Uptau's favorite. Apparently, it's been on kind of a bit of a winning streak lately. Of all but it's young, it's spry, it's got a lot of energy. And then there's there's also this really old aging Dimetrodon, which are the low to the ground sail backed dinosaurs with the big kind of sail spiny kind of fin on their back. It's really old. That one's called Mountain Thunder. Just kind of lumbers around very slowly. But of the ones here in the Anchorage, those are really it.
Okay.
All right, so obviously, if we're going to target one, it has to be the Triceratops.
Mm-hmm. Especially because it's young, that may be more easily spooked. I mean, I don't really know how well horse racing translates to something like dinosaur racing, but usually the younger the animal, the more flighty.
Probably. I mean, I could probably do some sort of check.
Talia?
I mean,
oh, sorry, go on.
I mean, let me ask, are you planning to do something now, or are you planning to do something tomorrow during the race?
I'm just trying to gauge kind of what I...
Make a nature check in regard to the animals.
Woo! +0.
Woo!
I'll say both of you. Yeah. I mean, both of you, from what you're both extremely limited knowledge of Triceratops. I mean, a young Triceratops, from, what you're able to gather, is a little bit more temperamental than, say, a normal Triceratops. But really only not of any remarkable degree. I mean, you said it yourself, it's a young creature, so it's probably a little bit more ornery, but yeah.
Talia, before we go, you should try to say hello to Banana Candy.
Oh, I don't need to try to say hello. I can just say hello. What else should I say?
Well, you're good with animals, right?
Yes.
How close do you think we would be able to get without being attacked? I'm very curious.
I don't know.
I want to try and pet Banana Candy.
I can see if I can get you that. I don't understand why.
I like to experience a variety of different things in my life. We'll put it that way. But also, dinosaurs. Don't have dinosaurs back home. This is fascinating.
Okay.
So,
I'm the type of dinosaur that lugs for good strokes.
So yes, I'm going to do my best to approach Banana Candy and see if I can't maybe pet the dinosaur.
Let me talk to it first.
All right. Sorry, I'm just... Dinosaurs.
You're too eager.
There's no such thing. too eager.
There certainly is.
You're right.
So I'm gonna go over to where Banana Candy is and approach. DM left.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Xander,
no.
no!
Wow, you scared
Anarchy.
Xander away.
Anarchy!
Oh, no.
I can't believe the DM is fucking dead.
us to throw an anarchy!
I rolled to become DM. I am your new
Anyway,
god.
welcome to Discord Murder Party. I just killed our DM, and now I'm in
Oh
charge of this.
fuck! I
I
can't
knew
believe
it! It
I've
was
done this.
Discord murder party all along!
Surprise!
You little bitch!
All right, so since it's Discord murder party, permission to kill the other dinosaurs.
You know, we could certainly.
We have to go to
try.
sleep first, remember?
All
Okay,
right.
right.
everyone go to sleep. Okay, murderers. Which dinosaur would you like to murder tonight?
All of them.
Yes.
All of them. Except for Banana
Go for
Candy.
it. You kill an adorable baby Triceratops in cold blood.
So
Yay.
our internet completely just dropped. That was so weird.
Fun.
All right. What did I miss?
Kristen,
Murder party
From
now.
some
Okay.
Discord murder party.
So anyway,
Kristen just
as I
took
was
over.
saying, where did I get cut off?
You weren't saying anything.
You weren't
for a
saying
long
anything.
time.
Great.
So,
Well, last time I
while
said
ago.
when you guys had made a roll, I had said that as you said, a younger Triceratops is fairly ornery, not like distinctly so, but like any young creature compared to its mature adult version is a little bit more temperamental. That's really it. Then I said after that was if you guys aren't planning to do anything with the dinosaurs right now, or if you have any more questions or anything else you want to do, I was going to say that we move on to one of the other groups. So if you
I
have
don't
anything
know.
else you want to do,
Well,
tell
and
me.
then so the moment that you like left the Discord, I was like, I said like I approach Banana
Okay.
Candy and with a question mark, and then you died.
We're trying to
Okay.
pet the good
I
boy or girl.
Didn't hear that part. Yeah, so banana candy is a hadrosaurus, which is this semi quadrupedal kind of herbivore. It's that one dinosaur that has that like distinct bony head crest. It kind of is, its head is kind of shaped like a banana. It comes up. Banana candy walks up and like gives you like a sniff. And
I
just,
let
like,
it sniff me.
It sniffs you, and if your hand just kind of extended out there, it'll just kind of like it just like nestles up against your hand and goes about its pen eating leaves.
I'm gonna freaking use speak with animals
Okay,
so I can really get into it.
sure. Are you doing the ritual version or just casting and spending the spell slot?
Spending the slot.
Okay, so you just you cast it. What do you say?
I say my name is Thalia, and tomorrow, I don't know if you know this, but there's going to be a race.
Like in the middle of like chewing this thing, like this big old wad of leaves, the hadrosaurus just like turns to you and goes, "Oh, good, okay."
Yes. We're going to be working together tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to win.
All right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What a beautiful creature,
You
dinosaurs.
seem to be fairly two things. Is that true?
I mean, I'm me.
Can you ask
Lucian? You can't. Oh yeah, you can't talk to the animal. By the way.
Well, no, I'm asking.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Can you ask it or him or her? Can you ask Banana Candy about like the other dinosaurs and maybe who to look out for?
Is asking
Yeah.
if we should watch out for anyone in particular during the race.
I mean, like smacks a bit of more leaves and says, "Well, if we're doing the Unchained race, Probably should look out for Big Honker. Yeah, he's kind of mean.
Big honker.
Yeah, young Tyrannosaurus. Then there's Bone Cruncher. He's not nice. I mean, Optow's favorite's pretty chill, if you ask me, but I don't know, man. Grung Stomper's alright. Scarback's pretty mean. Nasty Boy's pretty nice. I never had a problem with Nasty Boy.
Interesting.
I once saw Jungle Princess eat someone. That wasn't nice. I don't know,
Quite
man.
princess-like.
Jungle Princess? I mean, Jungle Princess is a Deinonychus. I mean, like, they're not nice. They're kind of.
Indeed.
Yeah. And then Mountain Thunder over there. He's just a big old fuzzy ball. Big old fuzzy ball made out of leather. He's old.
Indeed.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's really the extent of my knowledge, if you were to ask me. Got any more leaves?
Yeah, hold on. I turn around solution. Get more leaves.
More leaves. Right. I will go get more leaves.
Appreciated. Oh, thank you so much. All right. Well, cool.
A few more things, if you wouldn't mind. So it's obviously the Unchained. Do you care about dirty playing as it is?
I mean, the Unchained races are always super fun because people are just kind of going about their own business, and some people tend to throw other riders off of other dinosaurs. But hey, who am I to judge? As long as you don't hurt me, I'm doing fine. I mean, most people, from what I've seen, encourage that. No. Environmental destruction. However, no. I've never seen people take too kindly to people, I don't know, killing other riders outright, or throwing spells, or shooting those pointy stick things at them. Let's just chalk it up to circumstantial.
Okay.
Yep.
Alrighty.
So, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Yeah. Looking forward to racing. I can tell you that much.
Me too. I turned back around to see if Lucian's back yet with the greens.
Yeah, by now, I mean, yeah, you're near the jungle. Yeah, you have like a handful of fronds, and the and Banana King like leans forward and goes, oh, tell your friend thanks.
Banana Candy says thanks.
You're very welcome. Dinosaurs are so cool.
He wants to pet you, he said.
All right, I'm cool with that. Here, he sticks his head down. Go ahead and give it a little scritchy scratch.
I will scratch the good boy.
Yeah, you give a little scratch and patting, and Banana King just leans back like, all right. Okay, well, anything else I can do for you?
I don't think so.
Great.
I think we're good for now.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I guess we'll see you tomorrow, new jockey. Just be careful. The races, especially the Unchained ones, can get a little rambunctious.
I'm used to rambunctious.
Oh, I'm sure you are. You look quite capable and spry. Anyhoodle, I'm gonna go about taking a naparoony, so gonna talk to you tomorrow. And then it kind of just waddles off. It's like a little pen.
I just have the biggest, dumbest grin on my face.
I turn back around. Are you satisfied?
Absolutely, thank you so much.
Indeed. Use of violence. And you said it's circumstantial, I guess? I don't know. We're still gonna use it.
As long as someone else shoots first, maybe?
Let's try and do that plan beforehand and in secret.
Sure.
I honestly think that's the only way we're gonna have a chance.
All right. We'll have to go into the market and see what we can find.
Dude.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, going to our adventurers over going to Wakango Tamu's home.
Boy!
Oh boy!
I mean, yes. So
Oh boy!
you are greeted at the gates. When you get there, they inform you that Wakanga's not home. However, because you are well-recognized friends of Syndra Sylvain, who is also home, and because you were there just the night before, and because Wakanga had actively said that you're welcome anytime, you are allowed inside. They tell you that Wakanga's over at Golden Throne for the evening. And sure enough, with little fuss about it, with a little bit of prodding by Syndra, who's kind of out in the garden, and she kind of has to coerce one of the attendants for you. They escort you up this this circular staircase in the grand hall up to the second floor and take you into a library. And it's floor to ceiling mahogany well carved bookshelves, lined with books with colorful spines, and the room reeks of old pages and leather.
Cry. Oh my god.
Smells like knowledge.
Really does, though.
And dust.
Yeah, you can see that
Old man.
There's a lot of books here. A lot of books.
Boy. Alright.
Smells a lot like loneliness as well.
So, and you guys grab a book to start with, and you look at it, you flip through the pages, and right off the bat, this it's a it's a romance novel. Very mythical, and flipping through the pages, you give it a few glances, it's a very kind of very much it's kind of like one of those epic ballads in a romance novel form about mythical heroes involved as well, and that how it's that kind of thing where tales of legendary heroes who pursue their lovers through unimaginable danger and save them from a fate worse than death, which in the case of this book is a forced marriage. Stuff like that. And you glance through a couple of pieces, and there's some plays and books of poetry and prose around, and you get the sense of there's a lot of this kind of extrapolative mythical romance around here. And you feel like if you're gonna find anything of substance, you're gonna have to do some digging. So,
alright.
I can't believe Wakango Otomu buys Harlequin books.
Yeah, right. So you spend the next few hours sifting through the formulaic fiction, and I'll say one of you make an investigation check with advantage because you're helping one another, but just one person's going to make the check with advantage.
I've got one, whatever that means.
Which one's invest? I'm so sorry. I'm
it's in the skill. It's in the skill.
Oh, there it is. Yep, I got 0. I'm like, it's hiding.
Okay, I'll do it then because I've got.
Yep.
So roll with advantage.
What is that? What is that anyway? The one at the beginning of it. I know it's got a name. I've forgotten what it is.
So you rolled a natural 1 and an 18. So thank God you rolled with advantage.
No, you rolled a 5 and an 18.
What is it?
The gray is just the one that it's not counting.
Oh, okay. I thought sorry. Yeah, you're right. It's critical fails are red.
Yes.
Sorry. Yes, thank you. So you rolled an 18, which is good. So after spending a few hours sifting through all this stuff, you guys do find this a pretty neat pile of some actually useful books of Chilton lore mixed in with the romances. What questions are you looking for? What answers do you seek?
Well, I want to look into, jungle cities to the south.
Okay.
So I assume I'm the one that found it, and Nava hasn't yet noticed that I found it because she's still
Probably
looking.
not.
I mean, like, this is like between the two of you. So I mean, in general, ask me whatever questions you have that you're looking to have answered in these lore books.
Yeah, we're going at it together.
All right,
Okay.
in that case.
So yeah, you're going out together. So like yeah, you have obviously you have the question about like any jungle cities and all that to the south. Anything else? I mean, any other questions you have?
Just cities that were in the jungle at one point that are no longer there.
Okay. Okay, yeah, a few things. I mean, there are a few bits of lore kind of mentioned around, of the cities. Let me just read something real quick here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, in some of these lore books, they describe you catch a few places, and a lot of these are dated, so they're not. You don't really find necessarily any history books on like here are the ruins throughout Chult. A lot of these are like talking about places from a very mythical standpoint. Like they were like they're kind of like more like tales of like you get like a lot of them are more like in line with like like here's this place in a kind of like a storybook way. But like the more kind of like credible ones are older texts that just kind of mention these places and more describe them as they are in their heyday. So you don't get like a sense of what must be kind of like ruins nowadays. But like of the things kind of like sticking to like there. I mean, there's the there's the city of Mesro, which in these lore books there was it was actually the favored city of Uptau. And Mesro was actually guarded by the immortal Bere, these paladins who were blessed with immortality and incredible powers by Uptau himself, and who were defenders of the city. And it doesn't necessarily like list all of them by. It doesn't really list them by name. But it talks about Mesro being this grand, beautiful city with an absolutely humongous golden temple in its center, which was the seat of Uptau himself, which was where it said that Uptau for a time actually stayed among his children. And I mean, in this book, yeah, I would say that. I mean, like obviously, one of the names of the Bara that are mentioned. There's a couple names, but obviously the name Raz Nasi sticks out to you. Among the list of the Bare. Then you also hear mention of the old kingdom of Mbala, which was a prosperous, which is a prosperous city in the kind of canyons and ridges of the Chultan jungle. You hear about this one is more mythical and like about the mythical place of Oralunga, which which in this book is mentioned as being a jungle ruin and being like kind of like a lost, like an old ruined city where they're like where supposedly a mythical Naga guards over it. Yeah. And kind of like this wise mythical Naga figure mentioned in this kind of fantastical way. You hear about there's like two pieces of information of like you start following a thread of kind of like old like a couple of threads in the book like mention old Chultan royalty from like the old days of like when there were like kings and queens in Chult, and you find you find mention of a city called Omu, which was apparently this another beautiful favored by Ubtao city in the jungles of Chult, where there were a number of merchants. Like it was a wealthy mercantile city. And the people there, it's a very kind of wealthy, glorious city. And also mentions this kind of like palace garden called Nangalore, which was like favorited by one of the old queens of Chult. And those are really the kind of like the ones that really kind of like stick out to you. Those are the ones that are kind of like mentioned the most.
So those are the kingdoms that are mentioned the most, right? So
Yeah, pretty much.
within the information that's given to us in these kingdomy texts, does it mention any like specific ritualistic places of interest?
Define ritualistic.
As in the kind of area you'd expect an extremist cult to cultivate.
I mean, a lot of these places have religious connotations with them and mythical connotations. It's kind of hard to peg down because all of these places have some sort of significance with one another. And especially because there is this overlapping theme of Uptau like loves this place and loves this land, and you get the feeling based on the writings that these were written pre Uptau's departure, or at least talks about the stance from back when Uptau was around. It doesn't talk about him leaving and abandoning the people of Chilt. So it's very hard to like pinpoint. There's not really anything like in particular that sticks out among the rest. It's just kind of, oh hey, here's a bunch of old glorious places.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Is there anything else about that city with the mythical Naga that might be important given the whole snake theme?
Yeah, I mean, like it mentions that that there is in the ruins of Oralunga, it's very like I said, very mythical, kind of like storybook like narrative of this of a ziggurat that is watched over by a wise Naga who knows many things. Apparently,
just remind me what's a Naga?
Make a nature check.
Righty ho. Do I know what a Naga is? I do. Fuck me.
20.
I know this. I know this Naga personally.
In your
He's
studies,
my best friend. We went to high school together.
Bird High School.
Naturally, Bird High School. Oh my god. Well, so
it's called the Institute for Birds.
Well, you know that Nagas are these intelligent serpents that inhabit old ruins and kind of amass arcane treasures and knowledge. They're kind of actually created, and since you're not funny, you know a fucking lot about them. Like they were actually kind of created as this immortal guardian race by these race of humanoids long lost to history. And the Nagas kind of then thereafter like kind of instituted themselves as the rightful inheritors of those treasures and lore. They're industrious and driven. They kind of, they don't really actually feel the ravages of time or succumb to sickness.
So they have the drive to achieve instead of just exist.
Exactly. And there are actually different types of Naga. And Nagas are either benevolent dictators or brutal tyrants, depending on which kind of Naga they are. They rule their domain with absolute authority, whether it's with compassion or by terrorizing its subjects. It kind of believes itself to be the master of its domain and all the creatures therein. They're immortal, and specifically based on like what you're seeing through this book, and it seems that this falls in line more with what is known as a guardian Naga, which are these wise, good-natured, beautiful guardian Naga creatures who protect sacred places and items of magical power and kind of oppose evil and that kind of fun stuff. They don't ever really seek out violence. But that's kind of, you kind of think that based on what you're reading in these kind of like fantasy books, that it is along the lines of a guardian Naga as opposed to its evil counterpart of a spirit Naga. Yeah.
I violently jot all of this down.
Naturally.
Taking a lot of notes. I want to look more into this spirit Naga thing, because evil snakes.
Yeah, I mean, from what you have, there's not a lot about spirit Nagas in Chilt. I mean, evil snakes. And you just kind of like, you do follow that thread, and obviously it does mention there is an evil race of humanoids that live in the jungle known as the Yuan-Ti, which are a race of snake people, like kind of like snake humanoids, who kind of view themselves as the master race over all other creatures, and
Sorry,
are
all
typically
I can imagine these
not-
things being is just some kind of middle-aged British woman. Like, you want tea?
You want tea?
Snake
Yeah, no.
Nazis. I hate those guys.
They're pretty much snake Nazis. Really, in the books you're reading, they're more mentioned as kind of like boogeymen. Then it doesn't really dive into depth about them themselves, but it very distinctly kind of like, marks them as like, yeah, these guys are evil and stay away from them.
Good to know. And there's nothing about like where we might find them or anything like that. It's just sort of a general. They're boogeymen. They exist.
Yeah, not in particular. It just mentioned as they're kind of mentioned this kind of like omnipresent, like in the darkness watching you kind of sense, and it makes sense because this does fall more in line with like a children's book of tales. It very much carries the weight of that, like, mother kind of telling this kind of story to scare her kids, but it does ring true with other lore books, but none of them really go into a lot of depth.
Okay. So none of the cities, did any of them come with any descriptions that would help us place them on the map?
No. I mean, let's see. Let's go to your map right now.
Hooray!
Well, if you notice that Mesro and Mbala are already on the map Sindra Sylvain gave you guys.
That's right.
Yeah, those are already pre-marked. Oralunga, Nangalore, and Omu are not. And they don't really specifically mention, like, Oralunga is just mentioned as being in the jungle. Omu is mentioned as being in the jungle. Nangalore is mentioned as being in the jungle. Unfortunately. Although it does mention that, like, you get the idea that, now with this knowledge, you might be able to start asking around people for some rumors. Like, you can, and see what, maybe if anything crops up. Because you feel like maybe somebody in the city has to know this stuff. Do you know?
I want to, real quick, I want to look into, Uptao. I want to look into the thing about if there's any, like, lore or anything about him leaving the whole, like, gods abandoned this land thing. I'm a little curious about that.
Naturally. I mean, yes. I mean, that is kind of a present. And this very much exists in some very more romantic kind of fantasy fiction and it's very romanticized. The notion that the children of Uptao, and it mentions two different things. Like, the children of Uptao are also dinosaurs. That, like, dinosaurs are regarded as, like, sacred creatures. And I mean, like, but also the children of Uptao referring to humans and the Chultans, that, their hearts kind of grew greedy and weighted down by the materialistic, impulses. And Uptao turned his vision away and left Chult, kind of disgusted by the selfish impulses, causing the Chultans rather, not Omu, the Chultans to turn to other deities like trickster gods or some of the Northlander gods, stuff like that. But yeah.
I wonder if these things are related.
I'm starting to think maybe.
List of cities that were once favored by this god, and now they're ruins. And we've got some heebie-jeebie statements about how some terrible things are coming upon us all.
Can we look again for another book that might explain why these cities are now ruined and abandoned?
Yeah, I mean, the general thread of knowledge that you follow here is that it's mostly just, very much the folly of man kind of thing, Although Mesro, as you kind of look more, is specifically mentioned as being destroyed in an event known as the Spell Plague that happened in the past era. It was destroyed by that incident.
Do we know anything about the Spell Plague, or is that just some...
You totally would, but that's Forgotten Realms setting information that the DM has been very confused about. It's kind of like massive magic, like end to like magic and cataclysmic force that swept over the world that lasted for a good few dozen years. So yeah,
delicious.
Yeah, But like in the wake of that, Mesro was destroyed. That's really the only one that's distinctly mentioned as being the reason. The others are just kind of mentioned as, like the folly of man, and that like all empires kind of fall, kind of thing. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. So
Well, it's like the jungle's pushing everyone off this island, little by little.
That it would seem.
I want to look into stuff about Raz Nasi real quick. I'm
okay,
totally
essentially
mispronouncing
the stuff you found was what I already told you, which was, he has mentioned as one of the immortal Bara of Mesro, and also based on what Wakanga told you, and very much echoed here, is that, he's kind of the reason for all the undead in the jungles.
Okay, just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything else that I might have missed.
Not in particular, nothing new, other than like, hey, he tried to seize Mesro with an undead army, and then when Uptau left, he lost all of his powers, and now the undead wander the jungles aimlessly. Kind of like stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so beyond the undead, is there anything written down about the general wildlife, both hostile and passive, that
does make mention of a lot of dinosaurs. There are obviously, more hostile dinosaurs, most notably. Like, for example, a lot of these romantic books do feature stomping tyrannosaurs and daring escapes. But there's also, obviously, it's
taken by a T-Rex.
Right.
Give me some of those saucy tyrannosaur romance novels.
There is a book called Tyrannosaur Erotica that you do find.
Oh my god.
But
sneak that into my
Why does that have to exist?
Because
why not?
Just Ava sees it and just like shoves it away, like, ugh, and then like as soon as she looks away,
just puts it away. And like, but obviously, it also just describes, obviously there is like, flora. Now, some of the local flora can get nasty, but it doesn't really dive into a lot of specifics. There's just, there's like specific instances of like, hey, there's also plant life in the jungle that can kill you.
Get nasty
kind of,
or get nasty. Am I right, lads?
Anyway.
I'm starting to think that a guide is more and more useful as the time goes on.
No, it is. It's just there's only a few that I really would be comfortable with asking, but we've got potentially a connection now. Though I wish our connection was here to ask if he'd actually sent the letter or talked to the guy.
It's actually by this time that you hear a knock on the door of the library, and peeking his head past the door, you do see Wakanga.
Oh, hey!
Yes, my Sindre told me that you were going to be here. You finding all the reading to be okay? I've seen you've turned my bookshelves into piles.
You've got quite the collection. I'm very impressed.
Unfortunately, none of it is alphabetized, so, the mess is on you, really.
Yes, that's a completely fair point. Yes, that is a bit on me. If you don't mind reorganizing it, I'd be more than gracious.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Pay us?
Wonderful. I will pay you with an invitation to meet with Jabal tonight.
Well, thank you.
Okay, fair.
There we go. Kill two birds with one stone. Oh, shit.
Wonderful. Just stares at him.
Wonderful. Well, if that will be all, I would very much like to retire in peace.
Yeah.
After you reshuffle.
Yes. Thank you for your help, sir.
Naturally. Of course. Like I said, you're always welcome here. Now then, if you don't mind, I'm going to go take a bath. And he just peeks in and slides back out the door, closes behind him. You guys are left to reorganize and rearrange the shelves.
In alphabetical order.
In alphabetical order. As we move on to Mask and Ileana.
Woo!
Woo!
Mask and Ileana, where are you?
We were going, I think, to the House of Repose to look for guides.
Totally. Yes. So you guys make your way back through the Red Bazaar, and kind of after having, you have to get pointed in the right direction. And eventually, you do find what is referred to as Caius' House of Repose, which is this very, very beautiful looking structure kind of tucked away in a nearby alleyway that has a bunch of red silks kind of outside. And as you step in, it's a low lit interior, a nice warm burning hearth, smells rich of incense and hookah. Very quiet. There's activity here, but at the deep dark oak wooden tables, there are people seated eating fine-looking dinners. Actually, at this time, this would be dinners by now. Drinking tej, drinking wine, smoking hookah. Very quiet. Only the briefest couple of voices every so now and again. As you guys take a look around. Go ahead and make perception checks, I'd say.
I'm assuming that's 3 now?
Yeah, it's over to us now.
Okay, I wanted to be sure because I left for a little bit and I was like, oh no.
And you came back right as it caught back to us, so.
Great. I love my timing. Okay.
Yes.
Where did it go? What? Where did you go? There it is. Oh.
Great. You guys give kind of a cursory glance around the room to kind of pick out any interesting looking faces. And among the whole group of Chiltons, you do make out, let's see, one, let me just count real quick. 1, 2, count 3 individuals who immediately catch your fancy. The first of which seated, interestingly enough, they're all seated alone, kind of enjoying their own meals or just sitting in silence or drinking. In the case you see one, what looks to be like middle-aged Chilton woman with kind of like an orange silk scarf wrapped around her head, her hair braided with a bunch of like colorful feathers and like small like earrings and jewelry around her. Kind of like a pleasant smile on her face. Doesn't seem to notice you, but just kind of like enjoying the atmosphere. The other you see is a dwarf male with pale white skin, white hair, beard, and kind of light like blue face painted markings on him, wearing armor made from what looks like to be bones. Just sitting very quietly, drinking from a mug, and just kind of like idly staring into the fire. The next you see is a younger looking Chilton woman with long black hair that's brought into this tight ponytail, and she has kind of like this kind of angular, narrow-eyed, stern-looking face, with kind of these intricate like tattoos coming down from her eyes that kind of like form these like swirling, almost like wing-like patterns. Has like 2 golden bands around her neck and just kind of wears simple traveler's clothes. She's the only one who seems to be like actively like eyeing you guys as you come in. Not out of her any particular interest other than like you're a pair of new faces who just stepped in. Although she is taking a particular glance at Mask due to his mask.
Amazing.
Those are like the 3 people that really kind of stick out to you.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Well, what do you think?
How about the one that's staring directly at me?
Probably. Right.
Right.
So,
I go over to her table.
Okay.
And Ileana will go over there as well, and she starts to muster up her like, because this is looking more pamper fresh, so she's gonna pamper fresh herself. Gotta get that nobility.
Naturally, you approach the table and you see this this human woman, and kind of like walk up, and she kind of like leans back, her eyes still kind of narrowed at you as you approach, and she says, "Good evening."
Good evening.
Is there something I can help you with?
I can't help but...
It isn't too much trouble.
And she very much gives that vibe of between the narrowed eyes and the clothes, very much carries that weight of some seasoned explorer who doesn't really have time for nonsense. Taking an interest in new faces is all. Is there something I can help you with?
We happen to be looking for a guide.
Wonderful. As just so happens, I am one.
And she like very daintily kind of like holds her hand forward.
My name is Salida.
I do not shake her hand.
Ileana will take the hand and get down on one knee and just say, "It's a pleasure to meet you."
No need to grovel. It's all right.
Force of habit.
Very well. Well, you should be happy to know that I've led many expeditions through the wilds of Chult. I know secret trails that appear on no map. All I'll say is hire others at your own peril. And then she gestures towards the colorful, the one with the feathers braided into her hair. That there is Eku. Another one named Azaka, who I'm sure you've seen around. They've both led expeditions into the jungle that have never returned. Frul and Gondolo, a pair of dandies. They're charlatans, plain and simple. And there's a dwarf by the name of Hugh Hackenstone. Suffers from mad monkey fever, I am sure of it. And over there, she points at the dwarf, is Musharib. He's an albino dwarf, and they're not to be trusted. There are others who I hear more unsavory things about. But if you're looking for a good guide, I'm your girl. My price is 5 gold pieces per day. It's a cheap price to pay for your lives. Spend your gold wisely, I'd say.
Very well. And I walk away from the table.
Actually, if there is one more particular thing, I was curious to know if you've seen this crest anywhere.
She glances at it.
Can't say that I have.
All right. Thank you very much.
Naturally. I'll be around if you decide that your lives are worth a few gold.
Again, thank you very much, and stay in touch. And she kind of like realizes that Mask is still walking away, so she's like,
Yep.
like, oh god.
Who are you going to next?
I feel like Mask is leading the way, so she's like.
You said there were two others: the pale dwarf and the old woman. Did you also say were in here?
Yeah, the pale. Well, not old woman. She's by no means old. She's just kind of like in her like 40s.
For Dungeons and Dragons terms, that's old.
She's lived that long. Amazing.
I know, right? Yeah, it's that woman and the albino dwarf, as you heard this woman refer to him as.
All right. I'm going to go over to the middle-aged woman then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smiles at you as you approach, gestures towards the seat, and she says,
"Oh, please sit. Come in.
Oh,
all right.
I like her.
I have a seat.
Oh, and Liliana will sit as well.
What brings you here?
To my lonely little table when I'm finishing my dinner. And she holds up a hand before you guys can say anything.
Let me guess. You are looking for a guide through the jungle.
That would be correct. Most perceptive.
Yes,
well,
ma'am.
You're in luck. I happen to be one.
And she holds her hand forward to both of, offering her hand to both of you, and says,
"My name is Eku. Pleasure to meet you." Oh dear, not mean for that to rhyme. Either way.
I love her. Ileana shakes her hand.
Do you want any water, or are you fine?
Oh, no, I'm fine.
All right.
And she's like clothed in these like light kind of billowing blue robes, like and like leaning up against her chair is this carved walking stick that kind of looks like a stylized kind of like feathered winged serpent, like wrapped upward the length of the staff, and it's very well made. She says,
"So, tell me about yourselves. I'm interested to know all about you."
Oh, well, my name is Ileana. And,
Ileana, a pleasure to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as well. And this is one of my companions, Mask.
Mask. And she like looks at you and she smiles and she nods. A pleasure to meet you as well.
Likewise.
Well, I'll get right into it then. While the lure of pillaging the antiquity of Chult is a temptation, I appeal to those who find fulfillment in doing actual good in the world. You see, I seek to rid the jungle of evil. There are many ruins and ancient temples that must be reclaimed, so that the spirits of nature can return to their sacred places and live in peace. There are evil impostors who seek to blind you with promises of gold, but will only guide your throats to their blades. My rates are, of course, standard, 5 gold pieces a day with a 30-day payment up front. A small portion goes to pay off the merchant Prince Jabal, obviously. The rest I give to charity.
Oh.
How very kind of you.
That's very
Prefer
sweet
to
of
help
you.
those in need. And I forgot to throw up her hand up.
How dare you?
How dare you? Oh my god, I love her! We're keeping her. I don't care what anybody else says. I love her. No. Oh my goodness.
Well,
But so you would pay standard fee and then I'll she kind of thinks it's like literally everybody else is like, we're going for the gold, and so she's kind of like,
Yeah.
I'm confused.
30-day payment up front, 5 gold pieces a day after that.
Right.
Yes. Standard rates for guides here in the city, I'm sure.
so we've heard.
Yes. Unfortunately, I wish I could offer my services for free, but oh well, it is the law.
Ileana
But then
like nods
again-
her head.
My money does go towards charity, so I'm more than happy.
She kind of like looks over at Mask, and she has like the tiny sparkle eyes of like, I love her.
Now, I must warn you, as nice as you all seem, I am regrettably quite picky with who I choose to be hired by. I only work for people who I am certain share my same moral interests. I'm sure you understand. I prefer to work only with those who seek to do good in this world.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right.
hey, we're trying to do good in the world,
There's a.
kind of.
You can't see
Plus
because of the
plus.
mask.
He's more eyeing Mask when she says that than you, Ileana.
No.
And this roughly translates to, I'll say this from a GM's perspective, this roughly translates to I'll only work with people who have some variation of the good alignment.
Ah.
Well,
Ruh-roh.
God damn it.
But I'd love to talk some more sometime. However, you caught me just as I was about to leave.
Oh, no, of course.
I'm on my way to the bathhouse to go attend to some locals as well. But if we ever run into each other on the streets, feel free to say hi. I'd be more than happy to talk.
very well.
Thank you very much.
Be pleased, both of you. Uptau's blessing upon you.
And she gets up, gathers her walking stick, and heads out.
Oh.
And she's kind of like, she was gonna like ask her something before she left. And she's like, oh no, she's already gone. Okay.
Hmm. Well,
The
she's
last
right
but not
out.
least-
Well, it seems like she's right out.
Yeah. Guess I didn't get to ask her about it either.
Shall we? And I gesture my head towards the dwarf.
Nope, right.
You approach the dwarf at his table, and he like kind of like just like very impassively like looks up at you, and he says, "Good day, both of you.
Good day.
Is there something I might be able to help you with?"
We're looking for a guide.
Yes.
Good. And he like nods, and he says, "Well, the jungle is my home. I know it very well. I can guide you anywhere in short for a fee of 5 gold pieces a day. My name is Mush Arib. A pleasure to meet you. Yes?
You as well.
Yes." Then he continues talking. He says, "If adventure is what you seek, join my quest to reclaim Rakamar, my clan's ancestral forge. A volcanic eruption forced us to abandon it many years ago. The fire newts that have since taken over must be driven out or destroyed. At the very least, we must sneak in and recover a relic known as Moradin's Gauntlet. The fire newts must not be allowed to keep it. If you have any love for dwarven kind, then hear my plea and join me in returning Rakamar to its rightful owners. I will waive my fee entirely for your promise of assistance."
Oh.
What's a fire newt?
It is a salamander-like creature that is made of fire and is not very nice at all.
I see.
Yes?
And Ileana immediately sort of like puts a hand like sort of like tugging on Mask's coat, like
Oh, yes, and my friend here wanted to know if you recognize a certain crest she's been carrying around.
Oh, that wasn't what she meant. She meant she was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
no
Mask
worries.
does not care. Mask does not give a shit.
I cannot say that I do. I'm not very familiar with the noble houses, whether they be from Chult or from the Northlands. I'm very sorry, but my interests only apply to Chult. It is the extent of my knowledge.
No, it's fine.
Well, if you wish to hire me, I will be here.
Thank you very
Much
much.
appreciated.
Naturally.
All right. So I get up from the table.
Yep, you get up on the table.
Why? I feel like it's like dragging a 5-year-old like around a theme park, and it's just like, no, wait, I want to go on the ride again. It's like, nope.
You're embarrassing yourself.
Having spoken to the really kind of more interesting people around here, what's the plan?
I mean, Liana's kind of sitting there like she kind of wants to ask anybody like at the, I don't know, is there like a front desk concierge and Jolt kind of thing?
I mean, there is the bar where there is a woman maintaining a ledger and taking orders for food and drink, and also accepting people who want to stay here for the night. I mean, yeah, that's here if you want to talk to her.
She's probably gonna. Ileana's gonna turn to Masquerade and be like, I'm just going to see if the
Just go.
Oh, okay. She just kind of turns around like, okay, God.
Yes,
Yes.
May I help you, miss?
Yes. I was just curious if you have ever seen this crest before, anytime in the recent past, maybe?
She glances at it. It looks familiar. I can't exactly place it. Could have. This is a house crest, correct?
Yes, it's
Okay.
from
Okay.
Waterdeep.
Ah, yes. Well, there was a gentleman from Waterdeep. Several gentlemen who passed through here a few months ago. I think that's maybe where I've seen it. I see a lot of people on a day-to-day basis. I'm sorry, but I have seen it before, briefly. Gentleman came in, flashed it.
What did the man look like?
Oh, looked like Oh, well, now that you mention it, I can't quite remember. Oddly, I recall him having a hood. I do remember that. Tall fellow, a little taller than you. Had fairly fair but olive complexion. Elvish fellow, I think. Hard to recall.
Wait, really?
I believe so, yes.
How long ago was this?
Oh, I'd say 2 months ago at most. It's been, like I said, I see a lot of people through here.
You wouldn't happen to know if he was going anywhere, would you?
I mean, last I heard, he had bought a room here with some companions of his. Talked to a few of the guides, mentioned looking to expedition into the jungles. That is the extent of my knowledge.
Thank you so much. This is a lot of... thank you.
Of course, naturally. Good day.
She kind of like nods like, okay. And like runs back to Mask. Okay.
Are you good?
Great.
I'm good, yes.
Excellent. Now, I don't recall them actually specifying where we were supposed to meet up, but I'm going to assume the Thundering Lizard, since everyone knows that place.
I think you're actually all...
Hold on, I think we actually said to meet here.
Yeah,
Oh.
you also
I
said you're
think
going
they
to meet
actually
at
said
Caius.
that they would meet us here, so I think we have a little bit of extra time.
Very well.
Yeah.
What would
You have...
to do?
You have a few...
She's kind of looking at Mask like, is there anything that you want to do, or are you not that social?
Is there anything that's within like a 10-minute walk of the House of Repose that would be interesting?
I mean, there's the Red Bazaar.
Well, I've gotten all I need from the Red Bazaar, and I've gotten what I came for from here, which was getting rid of 3 candidates for guides. So, I'm good, yes.
You mean you didn't like any of them?
No, I hated all of them.
Oh. Okay.
I have a very high standard.
Well, who would you suggest then?
I believe there was one that the first woman mentioned we haven't seen yet. Her name was... Asuka, was it?
Azaka.
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 Right.
We haven't talked to her yet, I don't believe.
Okay. I guess that's fair.
Let's weigh all our options before we decide.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you guys hang around, wait. Eventually you all do reconvene.
Yay!
Talk about the various aspects of your day. And right as you're all about to say, oh yeah, let's go follow up that Jabal thread, suddenly there's a flash of arcane light in front of you guys. We're at the table you're currently occupying, as a scroll, seemingly from midair, unfolds right in front of you.
Ah!
And it is written in Wakanga's hand, and it reads, "My dear friends, I am very sorry to announce that Jabal has vehemently rebuffed my attempts at a dinner invitation. He has, however, stated that he will be less busy and expecting visitors tomorrow evening following the races. Winner or loser, he will happily see you in his home. Very sorry that this could not be arranged sooner. Sincerely yours, Wakanga Otamu." And then as soon as you guys finish reading it, it just folds back up and disappears.
Well, that was frightening.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
I want to learn how to do that.
Please don't learn how to do that.
Alright, guess we've got a free evening. Well, since we've got the time, I think we should get ourselves a charter from the Flaming, so we can avoid the Flaming Fist Mercenary Company.
That'll take you 2 to 3 days to get done, just so you would know that, Ava. That's more of a, because that's on a different part of the continent. That's more of like, yeah, let's do the races tomorrow and then go figure that out. Yeah,
we'll literally have a free night.
Yeah, you have a free night.
Sorry, I didn't know it was going to take
No worries.
free.
That's okay.
The charter, as you would
in
know,
a different place.
right? The charter, as you know, you had to procure it from Fort Beluarian, which is a day by boat to get there. Yeah, from the port.
Well, at least we do have a boat now. Or two.
We have a canoe.
It's true.
Just sounds like
Liana covers her mouth again. Like,
You're pronouncing
laugh as
it
she
wrong.
covers her mouth.
Oh, right.
Yes, you
Sorry, I am
have
pronouncing it wrong.
a canoe.
It is a
This is more sailing ship than canoe to get there.
Oh fuck, that's right. We'll have to go on a boat.
Yeah.
How much will it take
and that's,
to
I mean,
fly
like,
there?
yeah, there's numerous options at the harbor ward for, like, you could probably go find a captain who's willing to rent out their services to sail you there. That's just a matter of asking around. But other than that, your evening is left to any preparation you want to do before the races tomorrow.
Ollie and I need to go shopping.
Yeah, we
You go
need to go shopping now.
What are you looking for?
Important things.
I would just was like,
Ball
what are you
bearings.
looking for?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, so for DM
You
sake,
said that. I'm
DM
worried
sake.
about it.
for DM sake, what are you looking for exactly?
Caltrops, ball bearings, shrooms.
Alcohol.
You're looking for.
I'm sorry. I just want to point out that, at least on my end, I'm not sure how it played out timing-wise on your end, but the moment you said ball bearings, the little soundtrack had a guy just giggling to himself, so ball bearing.
That's funny.
Sorry, as you were.
Sure. Shrooms, you say?
Something like a hallucinogenic fun time substance.
Sure. Okay. Let me see. Let me scroll through the thingy real quick here.
I also have a question for DM. Can
Yes?
dinosaurs get drunk? I mean, Orochi can.
Make a nature check.
Orochi can, so.
I mean, in theory.
I mean, Orochi can. Lucian, do you want to try?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I mean, like, I'll say that it's like, there's not a lot of study and, like, knowledge done on the inebriation of dinosaurs, but
New campaign. We pay for Mia's to live, and then we study if dinosaurs can
Yeah.
get drunk. This is Tomb of Annihilation
Yeah.
now.
Yep.
Whee!
We've had zero combat because this is all the shit we're doing. I mean, you figure that alcohol will affect animals and beasts like that. Because it's a beast. Yes. They could, in theory, get inebriated.
Well, then we're gonna need some strong shit.
And that's why I'm asking after the shrooms, because I figure something more hallucinogenic might give us better punch versus body
more
weight.
bang for your buck.
You know it. I'm all about that bang.
Oh,
I mean, what?
goodness.
So so you guys go searching through the markets. How many caltrips are you looking to buy?
What? Like how many standard when buying caltrops?
They come in bags of 20. They come in bags of 20 for a gold piece each.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm thinking at least 5 bags.
Okay, so that's 5 gold pieces for 5 bags. So in total, that's 100 caltrips.
Awesome.
Yeah. What else other than shrooms? Did you have something else you wanted to buy?
Ball bearings.
Ball bearings. Yes. How many ball bearings?
Same amount.
Those
they come in bags of 1,000. So.
Yes.
Okay. What's the price for?
So. A gold piece for a bag of 1,000 1,000 ball bearings.
Oh! All right. Let's.
I mean, 1 bag, 2 bags. What do you think?
Two, to be on the safe side.
Okay, so 2 gold pieces for 2,000 ball bearings. Great. And then in regards to shrooms, you ask around and kind of talk about more like local flora and fauna and something like along the lines of something hallucinogenic. They guide you towards particularly you don't really find anything not necessarily anything hallucinogenic. The closest things you kind of ask around for. I mean, they sell dancing monkey fruit, which, as you already know, its effects. Then there's also thing called manga leaves, which can be made into a tea that doesn't have a hallucinogenic property, but it does cause drowsiness.
How much are dancing monkey fruit and how much are mango leaves?
So dancing monkey fruit is 5 gold pieces for a single fruit.
Oh my god.
And a single ounce of mango leaves costs 2 gold pieces. And when you're kind of talking about the effects of mango leaves, the warning is that as long as you don't as long as you don't ingest more than 5 ounces, you won't just pass the fuck out. So it's in order if you wanted to get 6 ounces, that would be 12 gold pieces.
Oh my god. Okay, well this is
along the rare side, yeah.
Man, whose dick do I gotta suck to get some freaking monkey fruit around here?
I mean, oh wow. I mean, there's also and then the closest thing that you hear about shrooms is if you're looking for something a little bit more nefarious, they sell these mushrooms called zabu, which they explode and are poisonous. Not deadly poisonous, but will inflict kind of disadvantages on a creature if they inhale the spores, but nothing necessarily hallucinogenic. That's kind of what you find out.
That's a bit too obvious.
Yeah, no, it's too much.
Be able to get
I think that's really in our budget, either the monkey fruit or the tea stuff. I don't think the tea stuff would work.
Yeah, I would say probably monkey fruit, as the dinosaurs that we have access to are mostly herbivorous.
Yeah, well, the dinosaurs we have access to that's really worth messing with is 1. Get 1 monkey fruit, and then maybe for the day of the race, get some hard liquor and
do dinosaurs even drink liquor? I wonder.
So,
whatever.
DM question, by the way. In the interest of time, do we want to move on to the races? Not immediately, we'll do this transition, or do we just want to postpone the races again? Up to you guys, I'll say, because I have all the time in the world here. It's up to you guys.
In our time, I would assume postpone, but
I would say postpone, mainly
Yeah,
because
let's postpone.
that seems like a really tight cut for the race.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
So
sad.
Plus, it adds time for more
Like-
shenanigans.
I learned,
It's-
more shenanigans definitely because there's gonna be shenanigans.
Okay. Cool. Well, then I'm not going to push us moving on to the races. So these next 10 minutes are fine to do whatever the fuck we want.
How much is the monkey fruit again? For
5 gold pieces for a monkey fruit.
okay, thank you.
Let's get one. Right?
Yes.
Yes, so 5
Okay.
gold pieces for one. Yeah.
I'll pay
Yes,
for
correct.
the monkey fruit. Working super hard. Oh, what is? Yeah.
So yeah. So for the rest of the night, anybody else?
Well, there's stuff that I could do, but it's dependent on stuff that happens.
I
True.
guess I'm gonna look around, see if I can hear some rumors and shit.
Yeah, so you want to spend like how many hours you want to spend on rumors?
Like,
Ileana's kind of in a chipper mood, so she might get drinks for everybody, because why not?
Sure.
Yay.
2 hours should be fine.
All right, so make 2 insight checks. 2 hours asking around. You don't really find anything else out. Nothing really in particular.
All right.
I'd also like to do some rumor checking.
Insight checks.
Rumor
For how-
has it.
It's an insight check for however many hours you want to do.
Dude,
And
two as
that was
well.
it. That was advantage toggle, so turn that off.
Sorry,
Um,
I don't know what to do.
Oh
All
no.
right, so
Click on the
well,
thing.
so the first hour you don't find much. The second hour you do come upon some information. As I will roll a die to determine the information.
Oh boy.
Hold on, what did it say? Yeah, I mean, like as you're just talking about like finding some rumors. You do hear one gentleman say, and as you're kind of like in Tariki Anchorage, kind of talking with a fisherman, he says, "Well, long ago, a peaceful tribe of the fisher folk called the Aldani apparently angered Ubtao by catching and eating all of the lobsters in the river. Yeah, as punishment for the greed, they were all transformed into monsters that now dwell in Aldani Basin. So, if you're in Aldani Basin, watch out for the lobster people."
Sure. I'll do that.
It's kind of like crooked man with like missing teeth, just kind of like pointing, like, "Beware the lizard people! I mean, the lobster people!"
The lizard lobsters.
Lizard
Yeah.
lobster. Anna looks in her monster book here to see if there's any lobster people.
Totally.
Give me the lobster people. Survey says.
Is there anything in the book about lobster people?
Not in particular.
Is there anything about lobster lizards?
No.
Well, this is a ripoff. I demand satisfaction.
Is is anybody else going around gossiping, or is it just Ava and Mask?
Nah, well, actually, no. People have apparently there was a dude who was in here, so Ileana might like go around. Why not?
Okay, so if you
She
want to
found
actually
out
do
that.
do some gossiping,
Yeah,
I'd
she
say
found
for-
out some kind of cool shit.
however many hours you want to spend, roll an insight check.
Wow, amazing.
So 1 hour, nothing. You want to push a second hour?
I'll push a second hour.
Okay.
Eh?
By the second hour, nothing in particular. You want to push a third?
No.
Okay.
Well, I don't, but Ileana is very persistent, especially now that she has this information.
Then go for it.
Ack is a bit tired. Wow, Jesus.
Nothing.
Holy fuck. That is outstanding. You spend
Like,
that
like less
hour
than
actually
nothing.
forgetting things.
Yeah, you actually
Like
forget
that-
about that entirely. No, I'm not.
No, do not do that to
No.
me.
You don't forget about it. No, but like really nothing. Unfortunately, nothing really crosses your ears, and like not even anything interesting about gossiping about the jungles or about the city. You get a lot of made a lot of continued like kind of asking about this specific individual to no avail. I'm sorry. Anybody else? What are the nightly plans here? And it's funny because when you're as you step out of Kaya's house of repose, you can still actually hear the thundering crowds and music from the Thundering Lizard, because they're not terribly far away from one another.
Ack is gonna take off to the sky and just circle around, finding a nice nice place to rest, to nest. Sorry.
Quickly,
there are-
throw something at him.
No!
Fuck you. I just
Why
want
would
to
you
find a
do
nice,
that?
secluded place to nest so I can read my smutty T-Rex book in peace.
And sure enough, you find your nest and you read Tyrannosaur erotica.
Good lord.
It is some spicy dino smut.
Wow, my ancestors were fucking weird.
Oh, Mr. T-Rex, she said.
Incredible.
Take me in your tiny arms.
That's a weird translation issue. It's odd, yeah.
Take me, T-Rex.
It
but
works
my arms
better
are
in
so
the original
small,
children.
My head is so big. I'm not sure how well this plan was thought through.
So,
No reference for you there.
other than the Tyrannosaur erotica, anybody else doing anything in particular?
I think Talia and I want to do our trance thing, but also get up really, really early to feed a certain young Triceratops a certain monkey fruit.
Okay,
Plans for tomorrow.
sure. That's tomorrow. Anything else
Okay.
being done tonight?
I kind of want to check with presumably things will settle down at some point. I kind of want to check with Ileana.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, did you find what
Hi.
you were looking for?
Yes, actually, there was a little bit of information. Not a lot, but it's something. So better
Right.
nothing.
My roommate is dying.
Oh no.
He's
Your poor
dead.
non-existent roommate.
Please
You have a
kill
roommate?
him. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no, you can tell that she's in a very, very chipper mood.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. If there's anything else I can do, just let me know. Okay.
Well, if you
She kind of like fiddles around, like pulls out the crest, like, well,
you haven't seen this crest around here fairly recently, have you?
Have I?
No, you have not.
Sorry. No. That looks way too fancy for where I hang out.
That's okay.
Hey, you got something, right?
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna head home. So.
Of course. Of course, your girlfriend
make
comes
sure.
first.
Yeah. Look out for everyone. I believe in you. You're the only one with your head on your shoulders.
Well, do my best.
Ava rustles Ileana's hair and then looks kind of awkward about it, like, oh god, what have I done? I need to leave.
Totally.
Emotions!
Toss over
Liana's
hair.
confused but happy.
Yeah, and you head back home to get some rest and look after Mia for the evening. Any other things going on between our remaining members?
Yeah, we need to buy the liquor.
Great. How much liquor are you looking to buy?
Couple gallons.
Oh,
A couple
dear.
gallons? Well, yeah, you can buy a whole gallon of Tej for 2 silver each gallon. So
Oh shit.
Oh, shit.
Oh, dear.
yeah, they come in casks.
Perfect.
Well, this is delicious.
How many gallons? 5?
How many other dinosaurs are there?
In the races, in the Unchained races tomorrow, that would be excluding banana candy.
Yeah.
That is 8 others.
Please.
Well, we only had access to what, like 4 or 5 of them?
Well,
Yeah, you only had
When
like
we-
access to like 3.
oh, tomorrow. Are there, if it's going to be like horse racing, are there going to be like all the things there?
Like drops and
Presumably.
Stuff?
Why don't we just, if there's water in the things, why don't we just unplug the water, put the plug back in, put the alcohol in,
Well, we still need to have some water in there. Tej isn't exactly clear like water. Is
Okay,
it?
fine.
Tej
We'll have
is-
some water.
Golden, amber, honey colored. It's very distinct.
Okay, we'll have some water in there.
All right.
But that's approximately the plan.
That's under that assumption, yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
5 to 10 gallons?
8
20
for the
gallons?
dinosaurs and 2 for the road.
Perfect. I like the way you
so
think.
10 gallons of Tej.
Holy
Fuck,
shit.
man. Okay. Yeah, so that's gonna be 20 silver pieces for 10 fucking casks of
Yeah.
these. Yeah.
You know what, Lucian? It's on me.
Oh,
All right.
darling, you are too kind.
With
Oh,
your
I know.
devious intent in mind, planning to cheat your way in the races tomorrow, you
You
guys
two are despicable, and I love it.
head off individually to your own methods of rest for the elves, the meditation. Ilyana, you go to bed clutching the crest with a gleeful grin and a hopeful thoughts of your continued search. And you fall into the glorious arms of sleep in the midst of reading your horrifying dinosaur erotic novel. And we'll end for tonight on that horrible note.
All right.
What a way to
Great.
end this.
Yeah, stay tuned 2 weeks from now when we continue the Tomb of Annihilation campaign.
When we find out
And
what happens in
maybe,
the final chapter,
just maybe, we'll actually get to the fucking dinosaur races for once.
Whatever, we can
Probably not.
We
Or
can
we spend
add
another
so
day
much
searching
more
for shit.
roleplay.
It's more of a dinosaur meander at this point.
Really, yeah. At this
They
point,
just
I'm
kind of
just like,
jaywalk.
It's like a loose dinosaur hop, like
A
Everybody
dinosaur
do the
brisk
dino
canter.
a brisk canter, a mild jog,
Like
A lazy
power
The
walking.
Dino Trot.
like the most suburban mother power walking, but in dinosaur form. Yes.
An energetic saunter.
I'm just imagining a T-Rex power walking and swinging its tiny arms.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Gotta work that core.
And then
Work
I
off
said to
that
Carol,
Slim
"You have
Jim."
no need to be such a bitch." Like,
Oh my god, Carol's the worst. Her cookies are just awful.
and don't even get me started on Karen's lemon bars. Anyway,
Yeah.
we will see you guys in 2 weeks, unfortunately.
Why?
For the next installment of this stupid little fun game. Until then, farewell, be safe, and don't fucking
Why?
die.
Don't die.
No,
Live.
none of that, please.
No.
Foreboding.